Not me. That's crazy, bro. You can't just drop a bomb right before we fucking go live. Right as bro, he drops the bomb and we all press live.
That's how people know, dude. The green room is where it's at. If they think
dropped
the
a
fucking
bomb.
podcast, if they think the podcast is fucking nuts, that green room is batshit crazy, dude.
That's fucking funny.
Oh my god, guys.
What's up, boys?
What's up, fellas? Listen,
we gotta act like we weren't just talking for 20 minutes.
If Austin Harris is still in the fucking lobby for YouTube, you son of a bitch, I love you and I miss you, and I hope that we fucking. I hope we do the show that we keep fucking talking about. You guys be on.
Yo, what's up, Motion? Thank you so much for being first, baby. Hell yeah!
I do hope to bring him on not only the usual Tuesday, but I hope to bring him on the smoking section, and really give him his time. But guys, it's another fucking Tuesday. Yeah.
It's kind of wild. It came by quick.
It hella came by quick, bro. This week flew by fast for me.
Yeah.
You know what I think it was is because I didn't have Peanut over the weekend. He was in Ohio, and I think I went out, which I never do. So I think that like expedited the process. I actually went to work every single day last week.
Good job.
No, actually I didn't. I'm lying. I missed Thursday because it was Peanut's first day of school.
Oh, that's true. Didn't you miss the day after that too?
No, I didn't. Motherfucker, I was there Friday and Saturday. Don't do me like that.
I thought you had missed 2 days in a row.
No.
No, genuinely, that was not even a.
I will actually be present for Elijah's first day of kindergarten, and I'm really excited about that.
Hell yeah.
That's so important.
It's important. I missed his first day of pre-K, and I remember I got the call, like a FaceTime from him, bro, and I sat down on the roof and just started crying, and like they're like, "Are you okay?" I was like, "Man, fuck off!" Like, right, and so I'm just sitting there, and then my buddy who's Jamaican, he goes, "My name's Ronald, and so everyone calls me Ron." He goes, he calls me Big Run.
Jamaican Big Run.
Big Run. Beats. I was like, "What, Shane?" He goes, "It's powerful, bruh." And I looked up at him. I mean, I'm talking about eyes full of tears. He goes, "It's powerful, bruh." Like, it is. And like, nope, nothing else was said. I was like, it is. You know what I mean? And it was just like those moments being with your kids or with your family, just those moments, first days of school, graduations and shit. It's powerful, man. That's the shit that gets you through it. You know what I mean? And I wasn't only
breaks me down.
Bro, I mean, it's not only like, I'm missing it, but I'm like, damn, my little boy's fucking starting school, bro. Like, I
see, okay, but that's the thing that fucked me up, and that's why I started crying, was because now he's in a place where he's gonna majority of his learning space and the way he learns and the time that he spends is gonna be at this school with these other little snotty nosed motherfuckers, and I don't get to experience any of that. But he does, and that's beautiful. I like picture him running around at recess, playing with these, bouncing balls and fucking running around with these friends, and then like learning and singing songs in the classroom. But I don't get to enjoy any of that. But he does, so that's the beautiful thing about it.
Yeah, it's like it's like that weird moment. Like even when like as we grow up, you have best friends, and then you find out that they have another best friend, and you're like, whoa.
What the fuck is this?
Like, I'm your best friend, and so they get to experience that, and it's like, whoa, I'm your friend. I'm dad, dude. How dare you have other fucking friends, bro? Who are you? Who are
Everybody
these
knows
people?
that Damien's my best friend at work. People ask me about him today.
Oh.
Like, hey, where's Damien?
Oh, people ask about me? Legend.
You made it in the group chat, dog.
There we go.
All right, I got okay. Before
thank you, Nelly, for being here. Second, baby.
I noticed this and I saw it on
you.
Instagram, and I was like, round of applause for Corpse, because he posted a story of a still image of yourself crying your eyes out last week. Did you get any type of responses or anything to that image, or did anybody watch the show because of that image?
I'm not sure, but I have had people reach out, and just kind of like, keep going, keep doing your thing, proud of you. Sylvester shared it and put this long thing on there. And matter of fact, let me read off what I had to send back to him. As you guys know, Sylvester is one of my closest friends, right? And he's like a little brother to me. and he's been through a lot. And he had a battle in Temecula at the playgrounds.
I saw that
Um,
he was there, and I wish he would have hit me up because I would have went to go see it.
bro, and he did good, right? Like I made a meme out of this moment that he had. And it's just I'll send it to you guys later. And it's so funny because it's so sly, like you know what I mean? And I hit him up about it and I was just like, bro, like that moment right there. Like, and he's like, yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. I was like, that moment is what you need to live in, not only on the dance floor, but off of it, man. Like, that is you. That is the most authentic fucking you that I've seen in so long, bro. Like, so long. Um, and
That's a lot.
we spoke a little bit about the stuff he's been going through and stuff. And I was like, dude, you're a good son, man. Like his mom is pretty much like disabled, right? Lives in pain. He stays at home with her to help take care of her. He helps, by working and all this, that, and the third. And he had a fuck. How can I say this? He's had a lot of different run-ins with trouble, right? Like, and he's owned up to it, right? He's owned up to a lot of this stuff. Some of this stuff me and him had to talk about in length. You know what I'm saying? Like me and him had to sit down and have a conversation. Um, and I told him like, bro, you and Sylvester, I know you're probably gonna end up watching this, so I hope you know I love you. Um, but I spoke with him and I was like, bro, like you didn't have a dad growing up and you've fought against that. You are taking care of your mom and you're fighting against that. Like your brother has been, that's a whole different can of worms and you're fighting against that and trying to find your own path and you're doing well, like in not only to be ostracized by our community, to be quoted as a bad man, like you owned up, and to see you step out in the circle lets me know that you're ready to do what you got to do. Like you're not scared of these motherfuckers. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Like
Mhm.
it kind of reminds me of like that Bernie Mac stand up when he pops out. He goes, "I ain't scared of you motherfuckers." Like you know what I mean? And people
Yeah,
don't under.
that was an old. I know exactly which one you're talking about, but he kept repeating that over and over.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, I remember that.
See, now the thing is, if you watch that whole special, is the comedian right before him had got booed off stage. So he's
Mm.
going up there like, man, I ain't scared of you. Like I'm about to come here and do what I gotta do. I ain't scared of you. Like you're gonna laugh, you're not gonna laugh, but I'm about to do my act, bro. And here you go. And we're dog. At the moment, we didn't know, but later on, we realized this was greatness. This was burning fucking Mac, bro. Um, and so I was like, bro, like you've battled, and here you are. And in that moment, that's what I want you to live in. Remember who you are, right? Like you sometimes, and I've been saying this a lot to myself lately, is that sometimes we got to reintroduce ourselves to ourselves, because at times we have to fall back in love with the stranger of who we once were, right? Before all these other things got placed on us, before the mistakes and this and that, the ups and the downs. Just remember who the fuck you are.
Mhm.
But I'll say this for the life, and I said this to him. I said, I love you. You matter. You're valued and you're understood. You can be you here with us, with me, my brother, because you're mine, my family. Thank you for being alive. And thank you for your life because you've saved mine more times than I can count. And I genuinely mean that to him. And Sly, when you hear this, I hope you know I love you, bro. Um, so big ups to Twin Corpse, man.
Hey, big ups, bup. Hey,
Big
but
ups.
all right, we 10 minutes in, baby. I need you to just hit me with this intro so we can start poking and prodding at this young buck right here.
So it is the usual Tuesday podcast with your lovely host, Corpse. Yeah, and I am also accompanied today by the wonderful and powerful and amazing Save One of Save Oneer Gaming, and today's topic, and also our other co-host, 0%, Mr. Damien himself. You guys, episode
I thought he was gonna make
21.
a
We
loud
are
noise or something because he was like,
Guys, it's episode 21. I like this number and I like that it fell on Damo's turn. Um, so as people may know who follow the show, and if you don't, we've been taking some time to kind of do like a little check-in with each other. But it was also Damien's idea to do little background stories, kind of get a preface, prelude to or a what was it? Prequel
Like a
to who we
prologue.
are.
Yeah.
A prologue, big words. I like this. Prologue, yeah, to who we are. And so today is Damien's chance to kind of rattle off his story, man, and give me a opportunity to get this man to open up, ask some questions, maybe see some dick.
Maybe.
Got me off guard with
Maybe.
that. You got me off guard with that. I should have fucking knew that one was coming. I should
Maybe.
have known that one was coming.
I've asked every week, and it's been 20,
Yo,
at
21.
least 20.
Wait, do you got the Rugrat shorts on tonight?
No, I got some Adidas. I got some just Adidas, shorts.
Adidas with a Nike sweater, huh?
Listen,
I'm telling you,
I'm bound to know brand.
Damien is a walking human resource violation with those shorts. I'm telling you.
And the mid Jordan 1s.
And the Adidas socks.
Were you wearing Adidas socks with the Jordans?
No. No, I don't think so. I don't think so.
That is foul, and I'm judging you.
I'm
Yo.
sock checking you next time.
Nobody would ever know. I got no shows on though. Only no shows. Fuck high socks.
What? Oh my god, that's ridiculous. What is wrong with you?
No, it's not.
Hey,
it's the way.
Higher the socks, the downer the foo.
That's facts. Wait, hold on. Let's start with this problem here. Are you serious? You only wear ankle socks?
I have pairs of high socks, but I never wear them. Ever. Unless
Not
it's
even
like a
underpants?
unless it's like a no, not even underpants. Unless it's like a more formal thing, then like I guess I gotta throw on some like thin whatever they're called, like dress socks, whatever. Then I
I
gotta
think
have
ankle
they gotta be
socks
a
are
little
the
higher.
most uncomfortable things in the world.
I think vice versa. I think the higher the sock, the more I'm like get this shit the fuck off of me, please.
I don't know. Okay, well,
I'm
go
glad
ahead.
that
Go
you
ahead,
have a
Corey.
strong stance against high socks.
Dude,
I
it's
don't agree with it,
gross.
but I enjoy it.
Go ahead, Corbs. Take it away, because I'm already disagreeing with this motherfucker.
Okay, so Damo, so for people, I'm going to kind of approach this a little bit like I would do not a usual Tuesday, but a smoking section, right, with somebody that I don't know that well. But we've had 21 different conversations, or 20 at least. So first off, how old are you, right? First, and how old were you when you started streaming?
The answer is streaming, specifically 24 for both questions. But I was saying to save, I think last episode, or maybe this was off stream, that I'd been making content way longer than he has.
It was my episode.
I started making content. If I want to go back and be precise, but I think I was like, oh my God, I was young. I was probably like 2014. I want to say 2014. I was like 15. That's
And
almost
content-
that's almost like 10 years. YouTube, like making YouTube videos. It was like originally vlogs because vlogs are pretty big and I liked vloggers. It took me too long to realize that I'm a shit vlogger. My life is not that interesting. But yeah, I've like obviously everything has changed since. Like I'm a little bit more niched and now doing like live streams. It's not necessarily has to be the most entertaining, but it's more like personal. I think that's really cool.
And so okay, so you're doing vlogs, like, so this was more like a day in the life of Damo, day in the life of. Were you going by 0% at the time, or what was the moniker?
So there's a couple. So really originally it was a channel by the name of Our Four Lives. And it was because I lived in New Mexico and my 3 other family members lived here in California. And originally the plan was going to be each of us would take like a day to vlog and we would upload it throughout the week. So it'd be like 4 videos a week, but it'd be of all of our lives. Things kind of like, certain people didn't want to be a part of the channel. And obviously they're still my family. So I love them. So I'm like, okay, you don't have to be a part of the channel. It's just for fun anyway. Then it turned into Damien and Sam because me and my cousin just took over the channel. And then he kind of was falling off too and didn't really want to do the content anymore. So then I just took it over and made it into Throwaways. I've done so many different channel names and stuff like that. So Throwaways the idea was like, I'm just going to post like not super try hard, not super edited footage here, and just have fun with it. which funnily enough evolved into 0%, which is the ultimate in not trying, is just live streaming. Like, I don't have to try even that hard. So 0% is the new, like, I'm just having fun with it type of channel.
Ooh,
So
that kinda, go
yeah,
ahead.
so off that, so 0% wasn't necessarily like a moniker for yourself, but just the name of your channel, like kind of like what you lived by. Like this is, I'm literally putting zero effort into this. I just want to like enjoy myself, and if people watch, people watch.
Yes, because I definitely have, and I didn't even touch on that on my channel, which is originally was just my name, Damien. I think I put my last name too, Damien Ramirez. Which
Shout out
then
to the Ramirez family.
which then turned into Introverts Hideaway. And the reason I changed it to that was because I had a really cool idea for a website where I forgot what it was. It was back in high school, but I thought it was just a really good, it had like a cool ring to it. So I was like, oh, this is really cool. So Introverts Hideaway was that for a couple of years. And then finally changed it more recently to Macadamian because my uncle calls me that. And it's like a couple of different meanings. So my uncle calls me that. Macadamian, there's like a play on Mac, which is like an Apple branded like computer. And I'm starting to like delve more into tech. So it's like kind of a play on like Macadamian. So yeah, that's the most recent. But that's very much more like I'm very intentional with that channel. I'm making content specifically for an audience, but it's not necessarily always something that I find funny or really like. I'm obviously going to do it to where I find it entertaining, and hopefully people do too. But that's very much more intentionally garnering an audience, where 0% is just like, if you fuck with me, you fuck with me. It's cool, but if not, it's cool too. You know?
I like that. I like that. And a little sidebar, Mac, right? Like the whole slang term of Mac,
Mm-hmm.
I had explained to me once was Mac stands for a Master in Articulate Communications.
Oh,
So that's why you get things like Mac
Damn.
Dre. Yeah,
That's
he's a
cool.
master in articulate communication. So maybe you can run with that one, right? But you
Maybe.
better give me credit. Um, there is a question that I have, but I'm going to keep this until a little bit later. But I
Okay.
do want to know, what was your motivation? What said, hey, this is what we're going to start doing with this stream? Was it just because you saw other people doing it, or was there something that really sparked your interest to say, hey, this is something I want to do?
More recently, I think I've talked about this person on the stream is Destiny. I started watching Destiny a lot, and he's a live streamer. And I thought it was really cool. I thought it was really entertaining to be able to like speak with chat. That's why I kind of get like, oh damn, like I want chat to be there because I think it's really fun to interact with them, and not necessarily like I'm not super good at games, but I think having like a cool community, and I think I've garnered a little bit of community. I think that's really cool to have, to be able to kind of chat with people and do projects like Motion. Somebody in my community has literally created a series of 4 videos where I voice acted, people in the community have voice acted, and it's crazy to see that like 6 months ago we didn't know each other. It's just wild. I think that's just so cool. So yeah.
Yeah, okay, so let me ask you that, because that's one thing that like you and I have different than Corpse does, right? Like we have an online community, whereas his online community isn't as like ours is immediate satisfaction from chat, right? Where as like Corpse, his is more of like comments and DMs and people buying merchandise and things like that. So, do you think that when you make content on your other channel, as opposed to live streaming, where here, like I watch your live streams, right? Like, and even if I don't watch them while you're live, like I'll go back and play your live stream while I'm cleaning my crib or doing something, right? Like, do you think that the satisfaction level of reading chat instantly, as opposed to seeing your views go up on a pre-recorded video and reading comments and seeing how many likes you got, is more like, which one is more satisfying to you? And I know they're satisfying in different ways, right? Because the content is different. But what do you get? What like what tickles your berries more? Is it like reading chat, or is it seeing how many views? Because this is a community that you are more in touch with, right? Chat is more like more knows what's going on in your day-to-day for the most part, or continues to come back due to the content that you have and the community that's built around, or the other people that are in your chat as well. So, what do you think? What do you think the more of the satisfaction comes from?
Are you saying like in between like my videos and my live streams? Which one?
Correct.
They're definitely different. Like it's definitely I get a lot of satisfaction when people are actually watching live, when they're like interacting with chat, or I can interact with chat. I think that's really cool. But something about like it's really cool putting out a video that people find very information dense, or like they find it very useful. That's why I make those videos on the other channel where it's like more tech related, where I give not only my opinion but like what I think is important about a piece of tech. And I've done that. It's been like fairly recent and sparse, but I've seen some obviously like some success in that, and I think it's really cool when I think there's been just people being like, oh, I love the battery life on this, and oh, I love how you explain this or that, really entertaining, whatever it may be. But I really like the fact that like people get something from that video instead of just like, I'm putting this up for me. It's very like intentional. I put it together and you get something from it, which makes me really excited. Live gets me really excited though, just because it's like you're there, we're here together, like we're just vibing. It's cool. I think that's really cool.
Yeah, unedited, right? It's like unedited, spur of the moment. Anything could happen, and you never know what the fuck.
Yeah, and I could just play off of whatever you just said. Like you roast me, I'm gonna be like, well, your fucking profile picture looks like a fucking, I don't know, was taken on an Android. I don't know.
All right, so I'll ask you one more question as well, because I've been waiting to ask you about these types of questions, because, and I wanted to ask you in person, well, like, because we hang out, but I wanted to ask you more during this because, one, we are live streaming. We live stream our podcast as well, and you and I had just recently talked about like, what if we pre-recorded our podcasts?
Oh, I had a proper intro and stuff. Yeah.
Had a proper intro, pre-recorded, where it was edited. Now, do you ever like sit back and after a live stream you're like, fuck, like I wish that didn't happen while it was live streamed? And on the opposite side of the coin of that, were you like, oh fuck, I'm so happy that I was live streaming at that moment and that happened?
There still hasn't been an instance like specifically for the podcast. I think sometimes I'll think back and I'm like, fuck, I took too long answering that, or I don't think like we veered off topic a little too much. But I think that just goes to show that like we can improve over time, and I don't think that's indicative of like, fuck, like we should just not do it live and just pre-record and like put it out that way. I think that's like a way that you can go, but I think doing it live is cool because you get to like, one, be on your toes, and two, improve over time, and people get to see that too. That's why I keep old videos on my main channel, not on this channel, because this channel I have a whole like backlog on 0% of everything I've done, but mainly because I just want to start fresh with like live streaming. But on my main channel, I have everything I've ever, except for one video, everything I've ever posted is on there, because I wanted to see that people would be like, he was doing fucking weird, like just stupid videos, and it developed into something that I could be proud of, that it's informational, that is really useful to people. I think that's really, really cool. The progression is
What
cool.
was the one video?
It was an idea in when you have those ideas that you're like, oh, this is a good idea, what the fuck? And then when you do it, you're like, this is not that good of an idea. Oh shit. I had the idea.
I've had a few of those.
The video is called Eye of the Beholder, and it's a film. It's like a short film of a bunch of ugly things being filmed in a more like cinematic way. But they were like, it was really bad. It's really bad. It's really cringy. Yeah, I've only
You gotta put it in the Discord.
No. That I'll show you guys, but I won't put it in the Discord. Not now. I have to.
You don't think the community deserves? Look, there's not even that many people in the Discord. Put it in the Discord for a week, and then delete it.
Okay, I'll try to find. You have to remind me, but I'll have to go back.
I will remind you as soon as we get off.
I might have. No, I didn't delete it. I might have deleted it, but I don't think I did. But we'll see. I'll try it.
One thing I did want to ask too is if you couldn't stream, if streaming to you was unavailable, what is something else that you would pursue? Like for Damien.
I think this and photography have become a lot of like my. It sounds so weird because I want to say creative outlet, but it's not necessarily creative outlet, just personal outlet. Because like I can be more creative with photography than like streaming. Streaming is like more I get to talk with people, we get to vibe, and that's very personal to me. But photography is very like I'm making something pretty mundane look really cool in my eyes. Um, but they kind of both serve just a nice like I can make videos without it being like I have to make this cool edit. I have to do this. I have to do that. I have to make it really like as high of a production as I can. Although I want to do that on that channel, it relieves a lot of the stress of why I started to begin with. I think that's really cool. Yeah.
Okay. And I'm gonna ask a question. It's a little personal, but I'm hoping that we can go there.
Mm.
Now, you stated earlier that you had a separation in family, right? So you had family living in Cali, you were in New Mexico. How did that come about?
Yeah, my mom, she has a, like all of us has a job, and they relocated her to New Mexico. And for a long time, I was pissed. I was so mad. My whole family's here, at least my dad's side. Like, and I'm very close to my dad's side. And it's so funny to be like, oh, it sucks, and like I was mopey for like I want to say like 8 months. I was just like, bro, why the fuck are we here? It's hot. It's annoying. It's all sand. There's 2 malls in this place and a fucking broke down amusement park that's trying to be a rip off fucking I don't even know like not even a it's like a discount Disneyland. So yeah, I was pretty salty, but I mean the older I got, the more I was like, well, I'm here. What am I gonna do? Eventually, I can move back to California if I really want to. So I started to enjoy the time there. Got a lot of friends still out there, obviously, but but they're really cool. They're really cool people. As soon as I moved and came here, I was like, I love the people there, but not the place. And here, for a long time, I didn't have friends. For like a year, I didn't have friends. I didn't have like a job. It was like the most low I'd felt in a long time. I just felt useless. I felt just dumb. Like, why did I leave? So it was funny to see that flip, when I left.
Would you attribute some of that move, some of the move and how, because I mean, you were how old when you guys moved?
I don't know how old I was. I was in 6th grade, going to 6th grade. So
Okay.
it's pretty something like that.
So would you attribute some of that move to the way that you see friendships and stuff? Because I know when we spoke before, like, you have a very peculiar way of how you admit people into your levels of friendships, right? And so would you attribute some of that to the move, like the sudden, pack it up move, we got to go, like you're in this shit fucking place and it's like, oh my God, everyone who I've known up until this point's in Cali, because that's kind of what like the vibe that I'm getting. Would you attribute it to that?
I don't know. I've never really thought about it, but I don't think so. I don't think I was more reserved going from here to there. I think I was probably a little bit more. I don't know actually. But I don't think I was more reserved here to there. Yeah, I think for the most part I tried to like do my best in school in terms of like making friends. I don't think I was super try hard. I wasn't like be my best friend, but I was just I was in school, fuck it, whatever. And then eventually I like one of my longtime friends, Alex, we met in elementary school and we've been friends ever since, and we kind of just fucked with each other. And then Jose, me and him watched Adventure Time. That's what we clicked on. That shit is still this one of the sickest shows I've ever seen. But yeah. But I don't think so. I think it was pretty normal. Like it was a move, and then I was kind of mad, and then I made friends, and I was like, oh, this is pretty chill.
Oh, I think what Corpse is trying to say is the opposite of that. Moving from New Mexico back to California.
Oh, did I misunderstand?
I think so, but
Okay, my bad.
it's okay. I think what
Maybe.
he's asking is because you were so jaded, and when you came back and you said that you didn't have friends for like a year, and that's kind of where maybe you got the introvertedness, and then also you've told a story to us about the dog that you had to leave behind and how detrimental that was to your mental for a little while. I think what he's asking is when you moved back home to California, do you think that your view of friendships changed at that point because it was like, oh well, if I could just pack up and leave my friends behind, and I don't ever want it to get to that point again, where I have to just
No.
leave everybody behind.
No, well, what was kind of funny is that I did try. So I left here in elementary, um, and going to New Mexico, I obviously was there until all the way up until I graduated high school. When I came back, I had nobody here. So what I tried to do was like reach out to people that I knew in like sixth grade. And we had already like kind of followed each other. Like as soon as we got social media, I was like, bro, I could finally text XYZ, who I used to know in sixth grade, like see how they're doing, catch up and stuff like that. So followed a lot of them on like Facebook at the time, now Instagram, and then just kind of followed them. So when I got back, it was more like, oh, I might have these people I can like have like a jumping off point to get more friends, have them as like kind of like a, you're my friend now. Like I'm not alone. We're chill. People change over time probably. I mean, like they just weren't they didn't reciprocate, didn't want to like hang out. So, and that's fine, except for one person, absolute legend. Her name is Jasmine. And we like kicked it, and it was awkward at first, and then we got real cool. She was a really cool person. Yeah, she was like my first friend back, and that was really, really cool. I always appreciate that.
Because just from the way I'm even hearing this, right, and maybe something to ponder on, right, but how do I want to say this? It's like you reaching out to them and maybe them not being the people who they once were, right, or them reciprocating that effort, right, to me kind of leads me to believe that because of those experiences, right, has kind of fed into this idea that Damo has of like, I'm gonna kind of keep people at arm's distance, really see what kind of friend that they are, right? Because the younger Damo did reach out, and some people didn't meet that effort in the same token. You know what I mean? Like they didn't meet you at the door. You know what I mean? Where you gave your knocks and they answer. You know what I mean? Especially coming up in an era of social media where you add a friend, you like a friend, you message a friend, and then to reach that point, you know what I mean, and it not really be answered. You know, I don't know what other word I could use for that, or be received. Kind of has that starting point of a person who would say, you know what, I'm gonna really fill this out. I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna vet them properly before I consider them an actual friend, which is no problem, right? Because I've moved coast to coast, and I've seen that myself, and for me, that is what's made it hard for me to be friends with people. You know what I mean? Because they're not always who they seem to be.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Maybe it's definitely played in a bigger role than I had maybe originally given it credit for, but I don't know. I think one of the biggest things, I feel like I always give people chances, like in terms of like wanting to be friends. But yeah, I definitely want to feel it out. Like, bro, I'm not gonna be chatting with you a bunch and then like feeling like we could be really cool, and then like, yo, let's like kick it, let's be cool. And then it's like, I'm busy, like, nah. And it's like, okay, well, we could like reschedule, whatever. And then just like, yeah, like we'll figure it out. It's like, all right then, bro, like what do you mean? Like you're booked out for the next month? Like how much time do you need? Like what do you mean? Like can we not do it like next week? I don't know. That shit like is I don't know. It's just kind of like if you don't want to hang out, we don't have to hang out. You don't just say that you don't want to hang out. You know what I mean? I don't like
that. Do you think? Because this is an interesting topic. And I didn't know that Corpse was going to bring this up. And it's interesting because I have wanted to bring up this conversation again ever since. I think it was like within the first 5 episodes that we
I
did
think it was like episode 2, dude.
about friendship, right? Like,
Yes.
I don't know. I think it was a little bit later.
like
but maybe
5.
it was
I think it was
episode
like
5.
5, something
Yeah,
like
yeah. I know it was within the first 5 episodes. But
Sure.
I did want to bring this up again because I think even with our dynamic on screen has changed drastically since the beginning of since the beginning and inception of the podcast, right? Like we talk to each other through our group chat, and Demo sends dumbass TikToks to us about how we should start relationships and this and that. But
So
I that shit was so funny. I started dying. But it's like has you and I, we have a relationship. We have a relationship within the podcast, right? Like our dynamic is very similar when we speak in person. Even when it's just you and I, we still talk to each other the way that we talk to each other here on the podcast. It might be a little more dramatic here, but like even with your relationship with Putch, right? When you guys did my week for the interview, and you were like, "Oh yeah, I've been texting Corpse," and I was like, "What the fuck? Y'all been texting behind my back? Like, what the fuck are y'all doing?" You know what I mean? Like, is your viewpoint that you discussed within that episode of that podcast about making friends, do you think that it still sits exactly where it was when you discussed it, or do you think with how the dynamic of the 3 of us has gone, do you think it is slightly changed?
I want to say it's like exactly the same, only because I think I have a pretty solid like scale, or what is it, scale, like measure, like the thing to measure how cool we are. I think that's like a fine scale. I like it in terms of like what I think, because I like really close friends. I don't really like having a bunch of people that I would call friends that, and I'm not saying like anybody really here does that or anything like that, but I don't really have like a group of friends that I don't like hang out with. If like we don't really hang out, or like I can't text you to be like, "Yo, let's chill," and your answer's like isn't like, "Yo, like when would you like to do that?" Then maybe we're friends, but like kind of probably not really. You know what I mean? Like even the people that I haven't talked to in like close to a year in New Mexico, if I went out today, I know that there would be 3 people who I could reach out to, and they would say when, not like I'm busy, like I don't think I can, maybe next time. Like, bro, like all right, we're not gonna hang out. I don't know, whatever.
Mm-hmm. I can feel that because there is definitely a very small group of people. When I hit them up and I'm in North Carolina, there was the 10 people I would hit up, and I always got the I'm down. It's like, okay, well, when? Like, like when are you free?
Yeah.
But then there is the small, very small group of people. When I say, "Yo, man, I'm in town, dude. I'd love to see you." They say, "When do you land? Who's picking you up? Where are you gonna be at?"
Yeah, that's like a closer.
That's a good friend. It's a
That's a
good
really
friend.
good
And
friend.
so I under at first I was like, this guy's overprotective of himself. But then, I had to take a second to really think like, no, I can, and then again, this is why I love that we do this fucking podcast, bro. You know what I mean? Just gaining understanding. But to also play into, with the friends that you've had, the people, oh, let me make sure I say that right. The friends that you have, the people that you've had to weed out, right?
Mhm.
And then even considering the family that you did with this podcast, or not with this podcast, but with your vlogs and different streams, do you feel supported in the dreams that you chase?
Yes, but I also don't need like, in particular, like friends support. I think I need like, I feel like I would need 2 people's support. That if these 2 people like were to be like, "You're not that good at whatever I'm doing," I'd be like, "Fuck, maybe I should like not do this anymore."
Who are those
And
2 people?
right, like pivotal is my girlfriend and my mom. If both of them were like, and I think both of them would have to simultaneously be like, "All right, bro, like It's not. It's just not it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Sit on the pot or get off.
And I'm like, damn, like I really gotta like not do this anymore. Cause it's just like, if they don't think it's good, like if my mom and my girlfriend don't think my shit is good, who the fuck is gonna think my shit is good, bro? If anybody's gonna think it's good, it's them. So if they're like, I don't know about this one, boss, then I'm like, oh fuck, that's my barometer.
So why your mom versus your dad?
My dad never watches any of my stuff. He's just, in his own little world.
Does he know what you do though?
Yeah, I mean, he's right outside the door. He knows what I do.
I mean,
But he's
Oh,
just
yeah,
not
yeah.
part of it at all, though.
I don't know if like I want to give my dad a bunch of outs. I just don't think he like is in the same world. You know what I mean? Like it's hard to be supportive of it when you're not kind of in the same world. Although my mom isn't either, and she's
do you chat? Yeah, but moms are different. I think. Do you chat with your dad about it? Like what you do? Like, do you ever? You're like, oh, we were having a fun podcast, or like, I just filmed this crazy video, or I just picked up this new piece of tech equipment.
Nah, just because he's just so not a part of the world where he's not really interested. I tend to talk about things that like he's more interested in. I like try to go into his world than him come into mine. Although like, I don't know, we talk about like, we've talked about like Marvel, and we've talked about like, I'm not really going to go into depth with him about like the cameras that I'm looking into or that I like, or the different tech that I'm into that like, cause it is a niche thing. Like I get it when I'm really excited about the iPhone 15 having the USB Type-C port, 120 refresh rate, the different titanium that it's going to use. I'm like, dude, this is going to be sick. But most people are like, bro, it's the new iPhone. Who gives a fuck? It's just going to be like a little bit different. It's like, yeah, but you don't understand how a little bit different it's going to be, bro. But like, yeah, people aren't interested. So, and I get it. It's not for everybody. So, yeah.
I mean, for the record, I was gonna save this for after the pod, but I mean, you're the one. Damien is the one who convinced me to spend a shit ton of money on a watch.
I already saw the band too. It's the trail loop, the black. I saw that shit. It's clean.
You convinced me to spend a bunch of money on a fucking watch. And you know what's funny is I had waited a year. Like it's been over a year since the watch released, and I was like, "Fuck, I want it. And I don't know if you remember this. And I was thinking about this earlier today, actually, when we were in class together. I asked you about your watch, and you were like, "Oh yeah, I just bought it." Blah 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 blah. And I was like, "Is it worth it?" And then now, 6 months later, I was like, "I think I'm gonna pull the cord, bro. Like, just fucking do it. Just do it." And I couldn't be happier that I did.
Let's go. I'm glad. And then Crystal Water says, also made me buy a phone. Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Only
but
because
I'm actually, I'm not happy about the new iPhone 15. So
you're in the wrong.
Maybe you can convince me on that one.
Well, you have we'll get into it. It doesn't matter. I was gonna say,
because I have the mini. Are you gonna talk shit because I have a mini?
We'll check this out. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see.
Is the 15 gonna release a mini?
I just found out the 15. This is gonna be so fucking. I just found out the 15 has different battery technology where it fits more battery into the same size. The way that they coil up the battery was circular, and that made the. I'm so sorry. This is so not interesting. So the way that they
apologizing? This is you. This is one of you, motherfucker.
The way that they used to do it was like coil it up circular, so the edges would be left out. So that's space that you could utilize. The way that they've done it now is they coil it more like, snake. You would like, so you're able to do edge to edge. So the same space has more battery. So even if you were to move from the same size phone, let's say they make a 15 mini, you'd have more battery capacity. If you like the battery capacity that you have now.
So how are they gonna make a 15 mini?
They probably won't. There's no.
If they make a 15 mini, I'll buy the new one. If not, then I'm just gonna.
There's no leaks for it, so I have nothing. But very exciting. I'm so excited. I can't wait to get my hands on the 15. But yeah, I get really high.
That fucking phone too.
Yeah, it's dumb. It was dumb. But I'm gonna do what you said. Go through the carrier, better trade-in value, and also I don't have to pay for it all up front. So it'll be nice. It'll be good.
Damn, look at that. He gives me advice. I give him advice. So
Yeah, that
we
was
have a
good. That was
friendship or
good.
something.
Something like that. Some would
Almost
say.
you to consider him as a friend. And so another thing, right, on that is it's good to see you geek out for a second.
Thank you.
It's
I'm
it's
so
cool.
excited.
It's cool, bro. Like again, like Cisco said, man, this is why we're here. We're here to not only learn about you but celebrate you, bro. You know what I mean? And do you find it hard to let people celebrate you?
Sometimes I just don't want to bore people with this shit because
There you go, right
True-
there, like right there, like right there.
because
What part that?
truly it's not interesting to most people. It's just not.
But how
You
do
know
you
what I
know that?
Do you consider us most people?
No, but I mean, like, you guys have different interests, and I want to hear about that too. But I think that's what the videos like allow me to do. Like, I won't necessarily be able to package this all in the most interesting way in conversation, although I'm very excited about it. But I get to put both my creativity, love of like video making, and then also the excitement I have for like tech into one package and give it to you in like a, if we had a conversation and I could show you in the best ways that I can and like be as entertaining as I could with this information, this is what I would give you. I think that's really fun.
Because as
Let
an
me-
electrician, that whole battery explanation makes a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm.
And so you say, "Oh, it's going to bore you," and I'm like, "Whoa, dog! I'm speaking. You're speaking a language that I can understand, though I may
Yeah.
not be fluent. I understand what you're fucking saying right now.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Like,
true,
oh,
true.
like, oh, a coiled battery. Yeah, I know what that does. Considered to like this one that has this like rolling edge to it. What it does for a battery, like you know what I mean, or how it can be compacted, how it can be better protected, and how it can have a longer lifespan as
Mm.
something in comparison. So Cisco, wait, Cisco, what were you going to say right now before I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
well, no, you're good. You're good. We both had a thought at the same time, and it's just interesting to me that you would say that this you don't want to talk about it because you think it would bore people, right? Like that's what you said,
Yeah.
and it's funny to me because I'm gonna say two things on this. One is like that fucking game that you play on your live stream is so fucking boring to me. I don't know
Minecraft?
what. No, the other joint.
Oh, the Ministry.
That,
the top down.
bro,
Yeah,
that game is one of the most boring games
so
I've ever
boring.
watched in my life.
yeah.
But I watch it because you're talking about it, you're talking about stuff, and you're playing the game. And I'm not there to watch the game. I'm there to watch you play the game.
Well, I appreciate that.
So
yeah.
does your girlfriend ever tell you, "I'm excited about it because you're excited about it"?
Yeah.
Or do you ever see that she gets excited about something that you're getting excited about, even if it's not her interest?
She gets excited that I'm excited. Yes. Yeah. I guess. Sure. Yeah.
So do you not understand that, especially as a content creator, especially as a live streamer, right? Like, because you can say that content creation, like you making videos on this end and then making live content is completely different.
Mhm.
And sometimes people are just there for the live content because it's you. And they want to hear you and see you, right? Like, there's probably been topics that we talk about that people don't give a fuck about. But they give a fuck about it now because we're talking about it. So, like, I'm just curious as to why does your mind work that way when it comes to this kind of stuff? Because you haven't lit up this whole. We've been live for almost an hour. You haven't lit up this whole time until just that moment right there.
With the battery coil. Yeah. That was really
A
fun.
battery coil, champ. Jesus fucking Christ,
And a
bro.
fucking USB-C that they already have on other products.
Yeah,
Like,
which
dude,
is
it's
bullshit,
lit.
bro. Why do they have it on other? Nah, anyway, it doesn't matter.
It does matter.
No,
It
but the
makes
thing
you
is too,
happy.
what I thought about just before you said that was is about the battery package. No, because listen, hold on. So they're able to stack battery cells now. And I forget what it's called, but it basically reduces the heat. So right now in MagSafe technology, you have 15 watts of charging. And with this new technology, you might get 20 watts, dog. I think that's so cool.
But
I don't
that'll
know.
make lightning fast charging go up a notch.
Just for like wireless charging. But like
That's what I'm saying.
Wait, what? Say that one more
It'll
time.
be even faster.
It'll be faster,
charging
exactly.
Wireless.
Mhm.
So it could be close to like the extent of lightning fast charging when you plug in a USB-C. Right?
Exactly. USB-C also is capable of like fast rate battery delivery. Charge delivery, like energy delivery and data transfers, which is really nice. If
But
people
what are they gonna
transfer stuff.
do? What is it gonna do to battery health?
I've watched a couple videos on this. I'm not super well versed, but in terms of like battery health, what kills batteries more than anything is heat, and if I'm not mistaken, allowing it to go past like 20%, like letting it die a lot will kill the battery's lifespan over time. So if you're wireless charging a lot and it's not like able to maintain a decent temperature, it'll kill the battery a lot faster. But
Okay, just to get on the hype train with you,
What's
I did watch the like stuff about the new iOS and things that I'm happy about that they're bringing out on the new phone.
So cool.
The fact that you can leave FaceTime voicemails.
That's gonna be
is gonna be
sick. I don't know why.
That's gonna be sick.
That's sick as fuck.
Yeah, that's gonna be wild.
I think that's gonna be super dope.
Mhm.
Like
And then-
super dope.
And then they're doing a standby mode where you put your if you're charging your thing on like MagSafe
Oh,
or whatever
yes.
sideways, it turns into like a clock and you get to decide the face and stuff. I think that's really cool too because I have no clock next to my bed, so I think that's gonna be really cool.
But
It's gonna
that's
be the
my
death
my
of a
thing
lot of
on
clocks.
but my thing on that. Oh, I saw that right. Is how often is your phone on the side of your bed and you're not like you don't go to reach for it. You know what I mean?
Primarily at night. Like I probably won't use it like in the day. I don't know. Like I picked
Well,
up.
because I do know that you have like your focus on, so I know that you don't get notifications at night. So do you typically leave your phone off to the side at night?
Yeah. I'll
You're
just
not one of those weirdos like me that sleeps with their phone next to them and cuddles with it.
No. Well, you use vibration. That's why you need that.
That's true.
So,
That is true.
but try the alarm with your watch to see
I
if there's
did.
enough.
It woke me up this morning.
Oh,
and it
let's
was
go.
It was absolutely amazing.
I'm glad. Okay.
I got to read my sleep. I got to read my how I slept last night and shit.
Mhm.
And you know that was a big thing to me. That was a big selling point on why I wanted to watch. It was actually interesting. It showed me that within 5 hours I woke up 4 times.
That's terrible. I hope you can fix that. But I'm glad you know.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
It's all thanks to you, Damo. I spent all this fucking money on this.
Thanks, buddy. Hopefully it's worth it. Okay.
Apple sponsor this man.
Don't sponsor fucking anybody.
Bro.
Sponsor this man. Hey, Miho did a fucking commercial for AirPods.
Who?
Miho did do one of the creators of Crump. He did,
Oh, that's
and
cool.
luckily, Corpse knows him very well. I know him, but Corpse knows him very well.
Mm-hmm.
Well enough.
I mean,
I know him by first name.
Give me 1 second.
yeah.
No, I just didn't reach.
Don't run away.
No, I just had to do something really quick. I just unplugged something.
Okay.
You
Was
know,
it your
explaining the truth to
So another thing, something to kind of pivot, and I really do hate to pivot off the tech conversation because it's something I hope we can circle back to with you because you do
Oh.
really light up.
Thank you. Yeah. However,
But
whatever.
how because this also, I mean, this kind of dives into this a little bit though, because it's very authentic to you, and I have noticed through some of the videos I've had a chance to watch of you, and you do like you're explaining of different pieces of tech that you own, everything from laptop bags to this charging kit to that to this to that.
that was a good TikTok, by the way.
I love
Thank-
seeing it, bro. I
Thanks.
love seeing that, right? And have you felt, not only have you felt supported, in this podcast to be your authentic self, but how have you felt doing this podcast, man? I don't think I've ever asked you like, hey, bro, how do you feel doing the show with us? And I won't even say Cisco because you guys have a particular relationship, right? But with me, right? How have you felt doing this podcast? Do you feel like you're able to be your authentic self? Like, how does the usual Tuesday ring to you?
That's a good question.
I've thought throughout this whole time I've been incredibly lucky. It's probably one of the only, like, the best word that comes to mind. Like, imagine me and Cisco get a job, and mind you, this job isn't close to my house. So we get a job, we meet each other, and then we find out that we
Jordan
both do
Lumber.
content, and then through some lucky chance, not lucky chance, but I followed him. But through some lucky chance, I was available at the time, and I saw your guys' podcast, and I thought it was interesting enough, and dropped in on an interesting point to where you guys were talking about masonry, and I found it really interesting. Wanted to talk to you, but didn't want to like just be you and me because I've never done like a interview or like podcast sort of thing really with anybody else. So the only other person that I like, the intermediator between both of us, is Cisco. And so like all the things fell into place for this to be born, and then for you guys to be really welcoming. And I feel like I've been able to speak pretty authentically. Obviously not necessarily that like I feel like I have to be quiet about tech or like other interests that I have. It's just not the place that it comes up. So I'm not going to be like talking about, I don't know, something heavy and then be like, guys, the new 15 is coming out September, guys. What the fuck are we talking? Like, what the fuck?
By the way,
By
Can
the
you
way,
imagine? Because we're like halfway into a debate about marriage, and he's like, "Yo, did you see that the USB-C on this video?"
dude. But like, you know, but I think because I think I have, and somebody at work said this, that I'm a lot more mature than like they thought. I have this weird dynamic where people think maybe I'm not as mature. Like I get that. I feel like I get that quite often. But I get to express myself in more of like a philosophical or like more of my opinion on ethics or my opinion on the world right now, or, you know, whatever the topic may be, in more of like a really cool, authentic way. I never feel like you guys are going to judge, and I hope you never feel like I'm going to judge either of you. And it's all love. Like Cisco always says, it's all love at the end of the day. We understand that we're coming from different places, but it's cool. We're chill.
Yeah, I think. No, I think that everything that you said is absolutely true. Like, it's kind of weird how it all just fell the right way. Because we did talk about content creation like very early on in meeting each other. And I was like, oh, you stream? I think because you and another coworker were talking about streaming, and I was like, oh, you guys do live streaming?
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, I do live streaming too. What do you play? And you're like, oh, I play a little bit of Fortnite. And I was like, oh, that's whack.
Yeah.
I'll just play.
And what's crazy is I had just started. I think I've been live streaming for like 7 months, 8 months, something like that, 9 months maybe. So I like just started like kind of like, oh, I'm gonna stream a little bit. So it wasn't even like a big thing. I was more doing YouTube videos.
Do you feel like your background with just chatting, live streaming, helps you with being able to chat like in the podcast realm of things?
No, I think my ability. No, I feel like that ability comes from the extensive time I've been on YouTube. I'm just super comfortable in front of a camera at this point. Like it's just what is around at this point. It's not like a thing I turn on. It's just like a mode I go into, if that makes sense. Of just like, I know I'm in front of a camera. We're going to do our little thing. It's going to be fun. And there's no pressure at all. But obviously early on, it was very like awkward and weird. If I didn't go through that, then I probably would have been some dipshit like on the podcast.
Do you find it funny when you get somebody like your dad or like your girlfriend or somebody that is like kind of like scared of the camera?
I think
like
it's really
they're
funny.
like, oh, I don't want to be in front of the camera, and you're just like why? Like why? It's not gonna do anything to you. It's not gonna bite you. It's
chilling.
just there. And okay, so on that same side of things, have you ever streamed with somebody, maybe via something like this video, or they're next to you and you see that maybe they're doing like a little too much for the camera, or they're acting a certain way because the camera's on? Have you ever noticed that? Like, do you ever see those types of things?
Surprisingly, no. I don't think so. I had my very first like live collab with my cousin who started the original channel with the Our Four Lives and the Damien and Sam. We did like a whole soda tier list where we genuinely bought all the sodas that we were going to do the tier list. That shit was fucking horrible. The worst idea. It was really fun. It was really great, but our stomachs were obliviated after that
I watched that.
after that
I watched
episode.
that.
Yeah,
Bro,
that was terrible.
actually, that podcast though, that video, that live stream that you did, the co-live stream, is I give that live stream credit to one of the best podcasts that we've had in the last 21 episodes. Because isn't that where you got the hot takes? The idea for the hot takes?
I don't know. I think I got did I get that from there? It might have even
Yeah,
either
I think
been
it
from
was
there.
because you were talking about which soda was better, this one or that one, and then it like sparked the idea in your brain. From what I remember, that was a couple.
Maybe.
It was a couple months ago, but that was one of my favorite podcast ideas that you've ever come up with.
The hot takes. Yeah, that was really fun. It kind of fucked me up
It
that
was-
it worked reverse. When I thought it was gonna be easy, that shit was like hella fucking tense.
What do you mean?
Like the ice cream, I thought that shit was gonna be like, oh, chocolate chip. But then when you guys were like,
some of the best clips that we've ever had as a trio come from that stream.
that was really
Like
fun.
the kissing, and you made a whole video on that too, which
Yeah.
was awesome as well.
That was really wild. That was a really
Would
fun
you
episode.
consider that? Would you consider that like probably one of your more favorite moments of the show? Because that is literally the question: is like, what is your favorite moment, Damo, Usual Tuesday podcast?
Ooh, oh
My
goodness, that's a good
favorite
question.
moment has to be, funny enough, it's not like the funny. I don't know if maybe it's not never, but it's right now not like a funny moment. It's actually when all three of us like almost cried. Me and Corpse cried on the same episode. That was my favorite episode, just because it was so real. It wasn't like a how do I appear the best I could be on camera. It wasn't like anything like that. It was like I'm a human having a human. Like I think Corpse went into this last episode too. Like when he dances, it was just very human, real. Like, oh, this isn't for the camera. It's not for anything. I think that's super. That was really, really cool.
What episode? That was the
That was a death episode. That was your episode. That
Them-
was
that was the $1 million question episode.
yes, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, yes. Damn, we've had some good ass fucking episodes, bro.
You've had some good fucking times on this podcast, boys.
Damn.
Good,
and I
good. fucking
definitely,
time.
when I wrote that question down, I was hoping that's what you would say. I was hoping that it would be that moment of like very vulnerable, and I was like, oh shit. I was like, oh snap, Zero is like crying right now, fam. Like, holy smokes, like I'm
Yeah.
a fucking crier. Like, you know what I mean? Especially when I'm amongst friends, I in public and around people I don't know. It's like I can get really stone faced. But when I'm amongst friends and family, I'll break down, dude. It don't take much.
Yeah.
Hold on, real quick, Corpse, before you go on to the next question. I do want to say that I do love. That's probably my the video that I view the most on your TikTok, is that
Mhm.
that clip. You did a very good job at editing, like the ending where it was like you stop talking and then it just was a long pause and the video just blacks out.
Mm.
But every time I watch that video, my favorite thing about it is that you like try to stop for a second, and you apologize. You're like, I'm sorry, or something, and one of us is like, it's okay, or something,
Yeah.
and then you just like what you say is just so real, and you could see it in your face. Like you weren't acting. You weren't putting out content. You like you said, it was just a very vulnerable moment, and I think that you do a good job at bringing that type of vibe to the podcast. You know what I mean? Like you and Corpse do a very good job. You guys ain't gonna get me to cry on the podcast, but you and Corpse do a very. I didn't cry.
You said,
but-
dude, you shed a single tear that counts, dog.
But you guys do a very good job in that sense, and you bring a good maturity level, but you also bring a sense of I don't want to say like childlike or you bring a sense of innocence. Like
Yeah.
you are the innocence of this podcast. You know, you got fucking you got Corpse over here talking about that she was a spitter and she's running from the bed to the sink, and you know, like I say some outlandish shit sometimes, but you are like the innocence of the podcast. I know you ain't innocent all the time because we talked about some shit, motherfucker.
I'm like,
But-
yo, Adventure Time season 6, best fucking season. Yeah, true.
Yeah, you're like Adventure Time. I love Adventure Time. You know, whatever the fuck, what's his name, Scotty, or what the fuck is the name of the? I don't fucking know.
You talking about Finn? Oh nah,
there we
you
go.
did not just disrespect my guy Finn here, bro. Listen,
I don't know anything
to
about
prove
that
it, okay,
shit.
listen.
You talking about?
Oh
And-
my god.
And Jake,
What? I don't even know what the fuck you're holding,
bro. This is
What the fuck is that thing with the rockets on its
one
feet?
of the most goated episodes. He turns into a wizard in this episode. It's really cool. Anyway, let me get off topic.
But yeah, I love that. I love that you bring the innocence, and it's just it's something that we all just love seeing the love within each other, and you were the perfect fit to something that I think Corpse and I have wanted for a very long time. We just didn't know how to produce it. You know what I mean? Because Corpse and I don't think there's anybody else that maybe one other person that Corpse has had more smoking section episodes with than me. But it was just like there was like one missing piece, and I think you were that missing piece to kind of like mold what we have now, and it's absolutely amazing. Like you were the, you know what I mean, right? Am I right, Corpse? Does anybody have more podcasts with you than I do on the smoking section?
Thank you.
I don't believe so.
I think you and I have the most on your. So yeah, the
are
fact that
most
you were,
goofy guest.
yeah. So the fact that you created this to where it's like, yeah, let's do this every Tuesday and let's talk about and take turns, and you know, I don't know, bro. Like you make this podcast what it is, honestly, in my opinion.
Absolutely. I can attribute a lot of the success to you know, it's the salt to the pepper, the sweet to the sour. You know, you gotta have, and innocence is a great word, right? And it definitely plays into what I want to what I want to say here. But the vulnerability that you show is definitely like I'm watching, you know, one of my little brother, like one of the boys, one of my, you know, one of my guys, you know, the little brothers, you know what I mean? Like watching them go through their own shit, and it's like they come to me with it and I have to be big bro. But you also speak in a way, and they speak in a way too, where it's like, you know, I listen because there's things to be learned from the younger generation. They have fresher eyes, you know what I mean, looking at the same water bottle or the same issue or the same piece of technology. They have a different understanding that, though I may not understand, I can learn by just hearing them, right? And they explain it and they get so excited. And so sometimes I have to decipher, you know, I have to thin out the fucking excitement and be like, bro, I just need the information. But the excitement allows me to understand, like, oh, they're knowledgeable, they like it. So there's going to be a lot of stuff coming towards me, and it's just good to hear it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I do want to say, because me and Cisco are older, right? I think that we've spent so much time going through certain thoughts and certain emotions and certain things, right? So our vulnerability level may seem a little different. What keeps you from being vulnerable about talking about you know who? Your ex.
Damn,
What?
you just dropped a bomb like
What
that.
keeps
Hold on,
you?
hold on.
I
was for that.
was gonna say you know who, because I was like, you know,
Voldemort.
you know,
Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
but she can't take my
No,
name,
no.
dog. I don't like her like that, bro. So you,
Damn,
what?
my man dropped a bomb before we went live, and then just dropped a bomb right there.
That was like- that was
his
wild.
flowers and then light him on fire.
Well, no, because it's I guess to also back that question is it are you more cautious about showing that side of you, or is there a part of you that's kind of protecting her integrity?
it's a lot of things that it's a lot of things. I'm not necessarily like
That was a nervous ass laugh, right?
Yeah, I knew this
That
one was
was
gonna
a
hang up.
nervous ass laugh.
it's
I
because
knew
I have
someone
to
was gonna
I gotta so listen, like I think I do a pretty good job of staying within the bounds of where I feel like people would be pretty comfortable in being, especially with this internet shit and like how quickly like you can become viral. Or even just like just in general, like over time people can either like let me hold on. I wanna
There you go.
do this for a living, right? I wanna make that very clear. With that comes a level of notoriety that I understand. Like I know people are gonna be able to look back at these live streams and stuff like that. There's a level of privacy that I want to keep when it comes to the people around me and even people who used to be around me who are no longer there. If I feel like I can't really reach out and like talk to you about things in my life now, you probably don't really want to be mentioned in the stories or opinions when you can't really defend yourself, or where you feel like I might have gotten the story wrong. In that specific instance, there are stories and there are things that like maybe I can get into and probably like the vagueness. I will say like it just wasn't a healthy relationship in like by all definitions. I will say like I think both of us were children. We were in it, we started dating in 8th grade, didn't stop, really ended it in junior year, and it was bad. It was just like obviously all relationships have like goods and bads, but it was just like a bad relationship. And so I try to be in the vagueness just because, you know, she's not here to defend herself. I don't really want to like talk shit on her name. It's just, you know, it's just what it is. It is what it is. I learned from it. I hope she learned from it, and we get to just move forward. You know what I mean? In terms of like
So-
our life, it's fine. Like it's cool.
Okay, so let me piggyback off this since the bomb has already been dropped.
Sure.
It was going to happen.
Well, you know, because I think, and it's in all fairness, I think we've all talked about things on this podcast that we probably didn't want brought up or we didn't want to talk about. And I'm not saying talk about it because of that,
Sure.
but I'm just saying like obviously this has been mentioned in prior podcasts, so people know that there's some type of secrecy, not secrecy, but there's some type of vibe that revolves around this, right?
Mhm.
Now, do you think that part of this part of the reason that you don't want to talk, because obviously you've learned a lot from this past relationship and you have a beautiful relationship now with your girlfriend's beautiful. I've met her in passing. We didn't really get to sit down
Yeah,
and talk,
yeah,
which
yeah.
I wish we
We
would've,
will.
bro.
We
It
will.
was so funny.
I want to.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was just funny because she was like, "Oh, you're Cisco," and I was like, "Hi," and then you walked
Yeah,
up and I was
yeah.
like, "Oh, yeah." I was like, "Who the fuck? How the
Yeah,
fuck does
yeah,
this random
yeah.
person in David Buster's know me?"
Yeah.
But obviously that relationship, because you didn't really have a relationship in between your ex and your current girlfriend. So, you know, I obviously understand the respect of being on the internet and it living forever, and not dropping names, and we don't have to do any of that shit. But
Mhm.
do you think a portion of it? I know that Corpse had mentioned the integrity of it, but do you also feel that you don't talk about it at length? Maybe not even just on the internet, but I'm talking about in general, because I know that you and I've tried to talk to you about it, and you're the way that you talk about it is the same way that you talk about it right now, right? Like you don't go in length.
Interesting.
Well,
I didn't know that.
well, to because I will talk about it in detail with you.
Sure, no, I'm just talking about in
Oh.
the past. I've tried to
Oh,
like
sure.
talk to you about it, and like because I wanted to dig deeper and see who you really were and like how it affected you.
Mm.
And not that you refused, but you were just very vague about it, which I respected, and I was like, okay, and I haven't brought it up since.
Yeah.
But my question in that is, do you think that a portion of you just doesn't like to talk about it anymore because you don't want to allow that to have power over how you feel as well?
I'm no. I think it kind of goes back to like the filter of like who do I let know my information, it is very personal. It was like a long span of my developmental years, and I think it could have gone like I think I could have came out like hating the world. So I think it's cool. I give myself a little bit of kudos when it comes to that situation, to come out of it on the other side being like, the world could be way more beautiful because of it. And I think I just view the world that way, or at least I try to moving forward. But I think at the time, probably the time between you and me, it was different. And I don't remember how long ago we had kind of had that conversation, but yeah, I mean, I definitely open up to you now. I think
And not that I would even want to talk about it anymore. You know what I mean? Because at that time in point, it was, I guess, kind of like how you view your friendships and gauge where they're at that point.
Yeah.
I think maybe I was just trying to pick your brain a little bit and dig a little bit deeper in to see why you do things the way that you do. But now I know a lot more about you than I did probably when we were having that conversation. I don't even remember how long ago it was. But yeah, I noticed that like that day that we were talking about it, or that I tried to talk to you about it, to your response now are very similar. So I didn't know if maybe you were the lack of discussion revolving that topic had to do anything about the that you no longer wanted to hold weight or power. And not that it does, like it doesn't, you know, it's just, it's a secret thing and people want to know about
people like secrets. Yeah, sure.
thing. Yeah, people want to be on the in. So that's all I wanted.
Oh shit.
Excuse me. That's all I wanted to. That was my only input on that.
True.
Spitters or quitters, you better swallow it. There you go.
Oh my god.
I appreciate the level of privacy that you have.
Thank you.
Right, I do. There is I mean, dude, I'm a part of a society of men that, you know what I mean? Where I won't say that we keep stuff secret, but we keep stuff very private, you know,
Yeah.
and there's rights and benefits to that. But just on the other flip side of the coin, you know, where she may come across your podcast one day, you know what I mean, and maybe air your shit out, right? Not even, I don't see you as vengeful, right? And so I don't worry about you saying, oh, well, I'm a clap back and now I'm a just fucking spill the beans on the Usual Tuesday podcast. And it leads to the question of, do you think you've found it inside of yourself to forgive her for all your guys's, and I say that particularly your guys' transgressions?
Yeah, for sure. I think like water under the bridge type thing, but like that isn't I think this is probably healthy to do, and this ties into like more like you don't necessarily have to be really close to your family. I used to think that when I was younger, of like you should really be like close with your family, like it's your family, you should love them, whatever. But over time I realized like, oh no, some people are just really shitty, and like you should kind of block yourself because you want to protect yourself and live a happy life and do yourself a favor. Sometimes even your brothers, your mothers, your fathers can be not good for you, and that's something that you should stay away from. But the question, say it one more time. I lost my train of thought for some reason on that.
Forgive her for the transgressions.
For both of your transgressions in that relationship.
Oh, yeah, I think, excuse me.
Because water under the bridge and forgiving them isn't the same thing.
Yes. So I think I do. And it's funny because I was single for like 2 years after that relationship. And I thought like a lot about what had happened and kind of getting over everything. And finally, when I felt like I was kind of ready, I kind of put myself out there again and ended up finding my girlfriend now. And I think it's funny because even though I've spent so much time being like forgiven, like we're good by myself, I still, in my new relationship, when I first started dating her, found that like there are still things that I couldn't see that are there that I need to like figure out, that are due to this relationship, and different things that I would start to feel like very like, oh, this reminds me of my last relationship, but why? And really analyzing that and being like, okay, well, talking to her about like, I need you to not do this because this is what it reminds me of, and like this is kind of my history with this type of behavior, and I just can't have that in my life. But yeah, and vice versa. I think she did that with me too when she saw that I was doing things that she didn't like, stuff like that. But I think that feels, and over time it's gotten better and better. And at this point, like, I don't think there's anything that she does do that reminds me at all about my past relationship. But it's just working on and healing on everything that I had experienced before. That's when it's like, we're good. Like, you're good. You don't have to ever say sorry. I've learned, and we're solid. But also, like, if she was here tomorrow being like, can we be friends? I'd be like, let's just not. No.
That was gonna be my question right there. Not that she wants to be friends, but you're out at the Apple store in Fashion Valley, and you're picking up a new piece of tech. You're going to pick up the Apple iPhone 15.
Yes.
But you gotta buy a new block because it doesn't come with it.
Fuck.
And you bump into her. Do you say hi? Do you make small talk, or do you just kind of like brush it off and just walk the other way?
No, I think like no, like if she was like anybody that I used to know, if there are people from high school that I used to know, kind of more in like passing, it'd be like, yo, what's up? How you doing? I hope you're doing well. I don't know if she's there with her family or, whoever she's with or whatever. Hi, nice to meet you. I'm Damien. It's really cool to see you. Hopefully you're doing well. I'll see you later. That kind of thing.
Yeah. No, I think that's really big. I've said the same thing about all my exes too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I have no animosity towards any of my exes or anything like that. So I think that's really fucking mature.
The twitching arm, bro. It's Wednesday. Wait, is that what's the thing called?
Wow, Wednesday?
No, it's like it's like a chopped off
hand?
arm, and it like walks.
Hand?
What is it?
It's called The Hand.
The Hand.
You talking about from Addams Family?
Man, yes, Addams Family. That's what I meant. I know Wednesday's a
called
part of
The
the
Hand,
Addams
ain't it?
Family thing.
Wednesday is the girl.
She's from Addams Family.
She is fine as hell. Sidebar. But wow, I would let her do bad. Well, anywho.
Oh, the thing. It's called The Thing. The Thing.
The thing. Oh, the thing.
That's a rock. From
That's Fantastic
Fantastic
Four.
Four. Yes, it is.
Okay. And
Actually,
so,
aren't they supposed to bring the Fantastic Four into the Avengers?
In
When is that gonna happen?
like 3 years or something like that. It's not gonna
Yeah,
happen
that's
anytime
Fucking
soon.
taking a long fucking time.
well,
Yeah.
they can't lock down a new Reed Richards, and they're having all kinds of issues, and it's
Also, Marvel's like not it right now. I got the Funko Pops, but like it's just not it. We're gonna sleep on it
having
for
trouble.
now. It'll come back.
Because Iron Man's dead. That's why, huh?
No, bro, it's just it's so disappointing. They're just not. I feel like they've dropped writing for some reason. They're just not writing good stories. They're like making certain heroes like mega overpowered for no reason. Like I just saw there was a bunch of news.
The writers
Strike.
went on strike.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean. And then Disney had went on. I don't know how verified the source was, but Disney had went on record, I guess, saying that they are going to promote, female leads and female characters to kind of push the franchise forward.
Bullshit.
And I mean, they're really behind Brie Larson, and none of the Marvels cast like Brie Larson. I mean, she's hot as hell, but she is a bitch. Sorry about it. I mean, dude, just watch her interviews. She's a fucking ass.
I think what sucks is that they're doing it in the wrong way. Where like it is cool. I think it is cool to have female leads. Like that sentence shouldn't be cringe, but they're not. They're prioritizing the wrong thing. When it's like I just saw an interview, and it made me just be like, bro, what the fuck? It was like on TikTok or whatever, so short. But she was like, oh, was it Sleeping Beauty or Snow White or one of the new movies that are coming out? And they were like,
Snow White.
And they were like,
a fucking Mexican Snow White with no dwarves.
Listen, I don't know, but there was like a reaction on top of it of like, bro, you're not even making Snow White, you're making a whole different fucking movie. Just make a different movie. And I think that's right. Like, bro, you can't just slap the fucking name on there, and you can't just force like the whole like we're powerful message every time that you show like a woman on screen. It like defeats the purpose. If you gotta say it, like then the person's not strong. It's like if the person that's a leader has to say they're the leader, they're not the leader. It's so
Facts.
it's
Yeah.
so fucking cringe.
That's
Absolutely.
right. You know what's funny about that is that well on the Snow White thing, there's no Prince Charming in that movie.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't know, but I imagine that's probably.
No dwarves, no Prince Charming.
No Prince Charming. And it's funny because I was actually watching a video yesterday, and you know one of my favorite shows out right now is Ted Lasso, which you gotta watch.
I gotta watch it. I watched Severance.
'Cause I did
Amazing show.
Yeah, bro. Sidebar. I was out, corpse. I was out the other day with some coworkers, and this motherfucker texts me, "Fuck you," and I looked
He
at my
called
phone and I
me.
was like,
I felt bad.
I call him, and I'm like, "Yo, what the fuck? Like, why are you saying fuck you to me?" And he was like, "Oh, I just finished Severance," and I was like, "Oh yeah, it was good, huh?"
I felt kind of bad. I was like, oh no, not like literally.
Well, I don't know. I hadn't really
Unless-
talked to you all day, and all you said, "Hey, you let me know, baby." But Corpse gets to go first.
Sorry.
But yeah, I was watching this video about Ted Lasso and why this guy thought the series was great, and he was ranting and raving about how good it was, and the screenplay and the writing was so good, and the character development, and then he goes, "The one thing that I will say about it is, I wish there was more people of color acting in this show, and for that I will dock it points." And in my head, I'm like,
That's crazy.
"Bro, you just talked about how much of a masterpiece this show was.
Yeah.
You said it was great and the character development was awesome, but you're gonna give it shit because it didn't have enough colored people? Like, that's got to be the dumbest shit I've ever heard, bro." And when it comes to reviews, I unsubscribed to that guy because of that shit.
Damn.
I was like, that's dumb as fuck. What in the woke left?
Listen, I don't want to get too deep into this, but because Corpse, do you have another question?
Oh, there you go.
I
Yeah,
do. I do.
I apologize.
No, you're good. You're
And
good.
and you know, I didn't want to dig too hard into the whole past. You know,
Dig,
'cause I
bro.
do know your girlfriend. Well, I do know your girlfriend watches, and I do want to respect her. You know what I mean? But the
Oh, yeah.
three main questions I wanted to ask, I did get answers for, and I want you to know that it's good to hear this from you.
Mhm.
Because at 24 years old, I was dog shit crazy. Um,
That's fact. I can confirm. I was there.
Bro, I was like, you couldn't tell me fucking shit, bro. You know what I mean? I was cutting people off, bro, like at the
Yeah.
rest. At 24 years old, I had my son. You know what I mean? I was going through a lot of life changes. And the biggest thing I wanted to hear, because as you guys know, I've been battling with my own stuff, right? Especially when it comes to relationships. And so to kind of hear your take on it and its impact that it had on you, the fact that you won't, I'm very open about talking about this shit. I don't care. But to hear you is very reminding of who maybe I should have been back then. The maturity, the understanding. One thing I did want to ask though before I wrap up that topic is what do you think you learned? What if you could take one fat bullet point from it? What do you think you've learned from that relationship?
Just like one, like the main thing. Is that
Yeah,
what?
give me your main. Give me a main squeeze.
Probably that. Oof. It's probably something along the lines of like, just because it happened doesn't mean that it needs to keep happening. Does that make sense? Like, don't let one thing demonize everything moving forward. I can't come out the gate of this feeling like I'm going to be betrayed, feeling like I'm going to be, XYZ, whatever it may be. Don't come out of it with that mindset, because everything that I do moving forward with that mindset will either devolve into that, because I'll self-sabotage somehow, or I'll let go of really good people who I just think are in it to do something fucked up to me. Give people the benefit of the doubt, because they're good people.
So, in all, what I take from that is that you're saying because it happened doesn't mean that it needs to happen again, and you can't live in the mindset of it's going to happen again.
Yeah, I think oh man, it's so lucky. Like I think a lot of people give me credit for being like mature and like open-minded and all this stuff. I think I'm pretty lucky to be interested in the things that I am, to be as balanced and mature as people view me as. It's just kind of luck because Jordan Peterson, good friend of the stream, you know.
Always
Good friend.
No,
we should have
listen,
Jordan Peterson on.
I absolutely,
Podcast.
dude, I absolutely love Jordan Peterson, but it's just like his more political takes. I just you don't need to talk about it, dog. But his philosophical and his psychological breakdowns are so spot on. I learned so much from him.
Love that you're always the one that brings him up, though. It's
Dude,
fucking
he's
hilarious.
so smart.
As right as Corpse and I are, you're the one who always
He's
brings
so
him up.
fucking smart, and that's why I think it's such a disappointment that he went to politics. And it's not even like right or left. Like, stay not even in your lane, but like you're so good. The world is so much better because of the positive impact you've had for men and women in a psychological realm. That like, bro, you're doing such a disservice. Like stepping out of that. Like you're doing such.
He's
good
servicing
things.
others. He's servicing others.
Maybe I'm just salty that I don't have more advice from him. But fuck, I was gonna say something he said that I really drew from, and I don't remember. Jordan Peterson really was like a big kind of pivotal thing in getting out of that and learning about more of myself. Of just like, I think he said something along the lines of like, if you think that the world can't be worse than it is, there's always some stupid thing you can do to make it worse. So like realizing that, being very cognitive of that, I knew that like, okay, I can't make my next relationship that much worse, and I have to go into it now with these experiences with my eyes open. There's no more closing my eyes. It's not going to happen. Let me just cautiously, but with open arms, see what's next, but be aware.
All right, well, let me ask you this on the topic of understanding, gaining the knowledge of understanding that you can no longer live with the fear that this will happen again and go on with things. There was something that happened a couple weeks ago that I asked you prior to this podcast if it was okay for you to talk about, and you said that you thought that it would be okay for you to talk about. Are you still open to chatting about it?
It depends. I probably, yeah. If I said it, probably. I just don't remember. But yeah.
So I mean, you called me about it.
Oh yes, yeah. We can go into that.
Okay. Do you want to tell people what happened?
So yes, for the listeners.
I don't even think Corpse knows.
Viewers, no, he knows.
Does he know?
Yeah. We chatted about it. So I have never really battled with like any sort of anxiety, and I think it's really dumb actually that I said that I had like social anxiety after that shit. Jesus. I had a panic attack on last Sunday. It was some of the scariest, just like wildest feeling. And I actually talked about this with my mom today. I was like, it feels like every other time that you were like, we almost died. Oh my God, we like almost got in a car accident or whatever the case may have been. It feels like every other time was a joke. And this was the moment you were going to die. And it was so scary. I've been going through some health concerns that I've been putting off, and it's like body pains that I can't really explain. But it's something that I was like, well, I'll like go to the doctor. I'll find time. It's been going on for months. And, finally something started happening where I was in the shower and I saw it physically happen, and I felt it where I felt like I didn't have any more control of my body, which sent me into like I'm dying. I think like a blood vessel popped because it was, I don't know, something, and like maybe it was connected to a main artery. I just started spiraling of just like, I let this go on for way too fucking long. It's my fault. I am like, this is where my parents are going to find me, like on the shower floor. Like my girlfriend's gonna be like, I imagine like my girlfriend crying at my funeral. I imagine my mom like being devastated, getting the phone call, like all of these things all simultaneously, all at once. Heart was like racing. I couldn't breathe, but also hyperventilating at the same time. It just felt terrible. Holy shit. And I woke my dad up because I was like, if I don't get somebody up, I might just like fall and die. So I was like, I need to go to the hospital. I need to go to the hospital. I just kept repeating that over and over and over and over again. Like put clothes on while I was like drenched. And I was like, I just need to go. I need to go. Like, we need to leave right now to the hospital. So I'm going to die. I don't know what's happening. Something's like super wrong. And then that probably lasted, not that level, because that was a very high intensity. So that probably lasted like 10, 15 minutes. Like, it was still very much like pretty intense on the way there. And then by the time I got there, it was a lot more calm, but still kind of like something still might happen. I got like scans, blood work, P-test, like everything. And everything came out fine. Even like the stuff that I was initially worried about, I got like checked and it seems to be fine. So glad to say I'm okay. But yeah, scary fucking moment.
Yeah.
Where was Lady Zero during all this?
Well, it was late, so she was like at home, so she was asleep. Yeah,
Okay.
but I talked to her about it. I was like, I don't know what's going on. I'm like super panicky. I'm going to the hospital right now. I don't want you to worry about it, but I don't know. I just feel like something's super wrong. I'm gonna go get everything checked out, whatever. But yeah, called my mom, told her.
And this question just came to me. Oh no, go ahead, Zero.
Go ahead.
Zero.
Go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
Playing back to a moment that we spoke about earlier into an earlier podcast. Did the thought of if you made people smile, did it cross your mind as this turmoil was bearing down on you?
God, what a question. Oh my God. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to ruin the moment, but oh my God, what a fucking question, bro.
I don't want to say no. I don't think so. I don't think it did, but it was just because it was a moment of like utter like fear, terror, nothing like I've ever experienced. It was mostly like I was sorry for the people who would have to find me. I'm like I'm sorry that I did this. It was my fault. And now you have to find me, and that's not fair to you. So yeah, that's kind of more what I was feeling.
So let me ask. I got a couple questions I want to ask you. I know we talked about it. You called me. I think we talked on the phone for probably 30 minutes. And it meant a lot to me that you called me. You know, not to like be braggadocious about it, but it meant a lot to me. But it was, after I got off the phone with you, I was like, wow. Damien really just delved into this whole interview with me and asked me so many questions about how it felt and what it meant to me.
Wild.
Literally all this shit. And like 5 days later, he experiences it. And it made me feel like shit because I said I would never wish this upon my own enemy. I literally said that I would be gone because of the way that it makes me feel, right?
Yeah.
And here, one of my great friends is experiencing it, and it made me really emotional and sad. I was really like bummed out about it, but I was glad that you were okay, and I was glad that you called me about it because obviously you want to talk to somebody that has experience with it, which I was very grateful for. And then Putch, you probably don't know this, but like Damo and I go on walks at work during our breaks and our lunch and shit, and we chatted about it, and
Cute.
I know that, just kind of to keep it brief, for our one of our conversations, you just your biggest thing was your anxiety. You were afraid to build anxiety because you didn't know when it was going to happen again. And that's the reason why I brought the topic up, was because you said that from your past relationship you learned to understand that it won't happen again, or to not think about when it happens again. do you think from not only from the conversation that you've had with me via the podcast, but also via our walks, and now with the length of time separating when it happened to where you are now and time to reflect on it, um, do you feel that you still have that anxiety of when is it going to happen again, or are you more accepting of it happened? I know that it happened, and I know how the experience goes with it.
Um, I don't feel the yeah, because I'd say like up until fairly recently, it was almost like a sliding scale, where it's like the day after, shower turns on, heart's like kind of racing. I'm like, oh fuck, like I don't want this to happen again. What if it does? Like the took a little while to like get in, then it took a little while to like get started, and all I was thinking is like, if I can get through today, tomorrow might be a little bit easier. And that's not like a fucking shower, dude. Like I never thought that a shower would be so fucking hard.
You laugh, but it happens to people in other places that it scares them even more to do those things.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
That's just a shower to you, but or that's just a shower to somebody else, but to you that was like a life or death situation, a fight or flight situation.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it
There's
was
people
wild.
that maybe they took a shit and it happened.
Yeah,
Which
For
I
example,
honestly taking a shit actually helps. If it ever happens to you again, sitting on the toilet in a fetal position helps with getting rid of that.
for example, bro, I can't walk into a house where I know my girlfriend is at, right? Like when I have dated, I can't walk into a house that I know she's there. I can't go in there with a massive amount of anxiety like blaring down on me. Like my face is on fire every time it happens.
And you know
And
that's why I don't go
we'll
watch movies. I don't go to the movie theater because of that.
and we could talk about that definitely off stream, talk about privacy, but like
okay.
I
I was
can't.
gonna about to dig into that, but yeah, we'll talk about that soon.
Cisco knows. I'm pretty sure I told Cisco about that whole situation, but like, so yeah, so have you been able to find more comfort now, knowing like, hey, I can get through these moments,
Mm.
um, and it's not going to just pop up. It's not going to rear its ugly head. Have you been able to make your way through it? And that's an honest question. Like, have you been able
Mm.
to make your way through the days?
Yeah, I think first day was hardest. Second day was a little bit easier. I'm like really chill now. I think like it even happened in the last podcast where we were interviewing U Corps. And I felt bad because I wanted to be very present for that episode, but it was like a moment of like I'm like struggling right now to be here because I feel like I'm just right now. I feel like I'm on the edge of like something not being right. But I was able to regain it. It was cool. It was okay. So I was feeling those like weird flare ups, day 1, day 2, day 3. Now I'm feeling a lot better. I'm feeling a lot more just like I'm chill. I'm regaining like that balance again. Um, and talking to
Normal,
people.
would you say?
Yeah, back to just like feeling myself again, and I'm really grateful for that. And one of the what's crazy is I think I was in the hospital while this happened, but I literally thought of Cisco, and I was like, this is fucking horrible that somebody has to live through this, and it's not fucking fair. And I feel so bad that one of my friends has to feel like this.
Every single day.
Yeah, and it's
Well, okay, so let
horrible.
me on that same concept because I don't even think I asked you this when we were talking. It just popped in my head right now. So playing back our interview, I did finally decide to go back and watch it. I know that I didn't watch it for until just recently. I think I watched it on Saturday evening before I went out. I watched some of it. Um, and when I've explained it to other people, and I don't think I explained it in a horrific way, and I didn't explain it in a shocking way. I felt with going and talking about my panic attacks. I think I went about it in a very comfortable manner in trying to explain to people how it felt. Um, but I think within the words that I was using, you could tell the seriousness on what it was like. And even the clip that I that I posted, that I decided to post, I noticed that right before I said like, "Oh, I don't want to get canceled" or whatever, and I say something along the lines of like, um, I say this all the time, but right prior to that, there's like a very deep sigh that I make, and I didn't even realize that I did it, and it was like really disappointing to me that I was admitting some, those thoughts that I've had on the internet. Um, but I guess my question to you would be, do you think do you think that your mind in when we were doing that podcast in how I explain things, do you think that there was any point when you were interviewing me that there was any room of thought for exaggeration in what I was saying? And then if you had any of those thoughts, did you realize that there was no exaggeration after you went through it?
Um, it was only, like you said, it was comfortable. So it was only exaggeration into how much you kind of downplay it. Not that you downplay it in terms of like it's not a big deal, just more of like I deal with this every day. It's not like something that not that you can't go super deep into, but yet you just don't. It's just something that you want to like chat about. This is what I go through.
Yeah,
This is
well,
what
I don't want to
experience.
scare people, right? Like, think about it. The only time you ever really thought like, "Fuck," one of my good friends goes through this was after you experienced it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's like I don't want to scare somebody in like, "Oh fuck, I feel so sorry for him that he goes through this shit." You know what I mean? But do you are you in understanding now of how shitty it is based off of experiencing it?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, yeah, I don't think there's anybody who comes out of that being like, that was fucking nothing. like, like, what? Yo, Mike
I
Madsen
got this. I got this shit.
sold me on the phone too. Thank you, buddy. Thank you.
Mike. Hey, how we looking, Mike?
Chatting it up.
Kelly in chat said that her father used to tell her that she was stuck under a negative rock, that it's heavy, but you can't let it be strong enough to crush you. Even if you're not strong enough to fully get out of underneath it, you still can't let it crush you.
Yeah, that's fair. It's weird because like, sorry, really quick. Even though we've had those conversations, and even though I know more. Well, obviously, I know more about it now. Even after having those conversations, like, there's no amount of just think through it. There's no amount of just calm yourself. There's nothing in there that there's no like rational part of your brain on. It's so bizarre. It's like the most out of control I've ever felt, but also just like panicky. Like I have to get better right now that I've ever felt. It was wild. So it's hard to like when you're in there to get out of there.
Yeah, there's no escape. It's like a plastic bag is wrapped around your face and you have to breathe through it. And then after 20-30 minutes, it's finally like they loosen it up a little bit, but you're still like breathing the air that's in the bag, and then all of a sudden the bag is like off your head and you're like, holy fuck, like what, this is what breath feels like fresh air. Another question, a question from Kelly in chat. Do you think that experiencing this would now make you tiptoe around someone who has panic disorder after how awful you've experienced, or how you experienced how awful it is? Not that you have to tiptoe around me.
I
I'm
guess
just talking
tiptoe,
about other people in general.
I was gonna say tiptoe is kind of hard because I don't think I would be like. I would let the person very much tell me like what you're comfortable with, because I don't think it's my place to be like, oh no, you shouldn't do that because you're gonna, I'm unless I'm understanding it. It's not my business to be like, oh, you can't handle that. Like I want to make sure you're okay. Like what the fuck? What the fuck do I know? Like you're gonna tell me, all right, this is gonna be my spot of like, all right, I can't do this, I can't do that, and I'll try to like be the best to do so. There's something that I talked to my girlfriend about. In sad situations, I'm not the best because I fortunately, super fucking fortunately, haven't gone through really, really tragic situations, and I know I will in the future, but it makes me kind of a bad person to talk to when something really tragic happens. And I think in a weird way, I'm glad this happened. And I think I told Cisco this, because I'm able to now provide what I wanted somebody to be for me when I was going through whatever I was going through. I understood, like, oh, fuck, this is what people mean when they're like, I just want you to be here for me. I just want you to be there. And you don't have to say everything's going to be okay. You don't have to make everything better. No solutions are going to work right now. I just need somebody to be there. And I didn't understand that until that happened, where like I just needed somebody to be there. And that's it. Yeah, that's
dad being awake.
Yeah.
So okay, so let me ask. Oh, go ahead, Corpse.
Well, that was and I'm glad that you brought her up. What was her reaction once you got her on the phone? What was Lady Zero's reaction? What was her response? How did she come to your aid?
That's exactly what I was gonna ask.
My guy.
That's like verbatim what I was gonna ask you.
I think initially she didn't want to make, and I think I haven't talked to her about this actually. So I'm sorry you're hearing this for the first time. We can chat about it later. But the first thing, I was kind of mad that I don't think people, so I'll get into this. I think it's kind of good that my dad didn't make it a big deal. I was kind of mad initially when I wasn't getting spam phone calls from my girlfriend and my mom checking up to see if I was okay. My mom waited for me to call her, which was good because like I'm doing tests and shit like that and I'm kind of panicking, so I don't want her to like blow up my phone. In hindsight, in the moment I was like, yeah, what the fuck? Nobody cares about me, dog. But I think it was a good thing. And I talked to my girlfriend. Actually, I kind of did talk to her about this. I think my dad, although like not the best way to go about it, he kind of didn't make it a big deal. He's not a super big believer in like mental health. I think he's very much of an older generation to be like, fucking suck it up, dog. Not that he said that verbatim to me, but he was just like, I think you should get this under control. And I was like, yeah, dog, it's the first time this shit has ever happened. I have no idea what the fuck happened.
Have you talked to him since about it?
Nope, not really. And I mean, I don't know. It's just I just haven't. But I talked to my mom about it and talked to my girlfriend about it. And in hindsight, I think it's good to have a person who's not over catastrophizing what you're doing, if I said that right. Because it could be very much like, it's like you like hype your, when you just hype yourself up, you hype your boys up when they just got a fresh cut, you're like, oh shit. It could be
shit to me every time. I guarantee you tomorrow I'm gonna walk in, you be like, let me see the wrist, dog.
Bro, I am. Hell yeah. That's why I haven't asked you about it today, because I want to see it in person. But I think it could be that for more like heavy traumatic incidents. If somebody like, oh no, oh my God, are you okay? Like just be in bed for the rest of the day tomorrow. You're gonna be, oh my God, I can't believe this, not whatever. It could have been like way worse, and I could have been out for like 2 weeks instead of the couple days that I really had to recoup and like think about it. Nobody was like overly bringing it up. It wasn't like, oh my God, I can't believe you did, this happened. You had a panic attack, or, how's your heart rate? How's your, everything. It was just like, okay, you're okay. You're going to be okay. And Cisco said this too, which I appreciated. I was like, you're going to be okay. It's past now. It doesn't mean it's going to happen again. It's okay. And I thought that was really important. At first I was like, bro, what the fuck? But she talked to me about it later, I think like the next day, and did a little bit of research. I appreciate her for that, on like, and checked up on me even on the podcast when I had that little like moment of not being here. She's like, I saw that, something happened. I wanted to see if you're okay. I really appreciated that. That was really cool.
Yeah, I think that's important. And I think with your girlfriend experiencing whatever she goes through, and understanding that sometimes people just need their space without over catastrophizing it, like whatever word you use, I think it's important, man, because what a lot of people don't realize, especially people that have never experienced it, right? And you probably have these thoughts prior to experiencing it. Is how to respond to those things, and sometimes you just have to allow people their own space.
Give me one second. Sorry.
Go ahead. Good night, Dad. Tell him to wave. Tell him to wave to the camera.
My dad.
Just wave to the camera. Say hi.
Oh,
I'll see you.
I like how he has on his door that he's live.
Yeah, bro. How they gonna know?
That's
How-
fucking dope, bro. They're like, no girls allowed.
Yeah.
But I think that's important, and I think it again shows the dynamic that your girlfriend and you have, which I don't want to say I'm envious of it, but I think it's I think I told you this. I told you that if your girlfriend was open to being on camera, I think that you guys would make a great duo for a couples podcast. I think that would be
That'd be
fucking
pretty cool.
amazing. How dope it would be to see your guys' dynamic to just chat about different shit like this. But I think it's very big of her to allow you your space, and although you didn't realize you needed it at the time, I think that may have helped you as well.
Mm-hmm.
Space
Yeah.
is important, man.
Yeah.
I like. I mean, I will say for Cisco, and it's funny that we've had these text messages back and forth, and we all kind of have went through our own space of kind of venting. Especially me and Cisco. You know what I mean? Because Damien is happily in love, fucking bastard. But it's good to also hear how earlier you spoke of how you could approach her about like, hey, this is kind of like setting me off. I don't like using the word triggered, but like this is like setting me off. I don't really like this. Like, can you work on this with me? And she allowed you the space to heal and allowed you the space to also, be constructive of her. You know what I mean? And she's really kind of, from what I've gathered, right, has been able to kind of hold you down in that sense. Like, hey, my man needs this from me, and this is what he's going to get from me. And you give you the space to operate with your podcasts, do your videos. I mean, I don't know how often she is on any of your other videos or stuff, but you seem, from what I could tell from past, private, and so you're going to keep a lot of that private. Would you say, I'm gonna say a bunch of words and none of them make sense, but they sound funny, as a as a heterosexual cisgendered male,
Wow.
would
What
you,
the fuck? What the
No,
fuck
keep
are we
going,
doing?
keep going, keep
Hold
going,
on.
keep going, keep going.
Wait,
as a
where is this question coming from?
Yo, we can't.
there were just words and I thought they were funny, and so I was like, I'm gonna say these words together. Because
Okay,
I definitely
go,
wanna
go,
ask-
go,
I
go.
definitely wanna ask Dave about this.
As
As a
a-
heterosexual cisgendered male, you would is it safe to assume that you're in love with this woman?
I'm very much in love with this woman. Yeah.
Okay. And what was the time, or what was it inside of yourself that said, "Damn, I love this girl"?
I like the idea. I learned this from a TV show, and it's dumb. Well, it's not because I'm using it now, but it's. I think it's really cool that there's not one instance where you can say that this is where I fell in love with her. It's like a weird gradient where you don't know where it started or stopped. Well, obviously it hasn't stopped, but you don't know where it started. I think that's really cool. It's like the little things that are the building blocks that eventually turn into the building that you're looking at. And you're like, how the fuck did that happen? And there's no real spot where it did, but there we are. Here we are. And I think that's really cool. I think that's what we have.
I think it's important because, again, me and Cisco come from two different places, right? Especially in comparison with you, where you're much younger. You know what I mean? And you've experienced love in a different time, one, and you've also experienced love in a different fashion. We've experienced the love of children, and we've also experienced love that does end, that has a certain ending point, right?
Or that we don't want to end.
That we didn't want to end. You know what I mean? And have to hold on to that. And those small pieces, you know what I mean, that we still clutch onto. And it's cool to hear that this light gradient that that just fades into this feeling that you're experiencing now. I think she speaks your language. And it's beautiful because there's been no other topic that we can ever really talk about with you that I've seen so far has been fucking your girlfriend, dude, and goddamn technology.
Wait, did you
An
just
iPhone.
say a topic is fucking his girlfriend? Is that what you just said?
It is what I said, but that's not what I meant.
Comma. There's a comma in there. Yeah,
Comma
okay.
there.
Because wait, I was like, wait, what? I don't know if that's ever.
I am so sorry. Somebody's gonna clip that and put that on loop.
We're posting that shit on TikTok, Instagram Reels, YouTube Reels tomorrow.
Hold on. Somebody play this back. Hold on, rewind. There's been no two topics that you've lit up more about than talking about your girlfriend and fucking technology. I think that's a proper way to say that.
Yeah, he unplugged his dildo earlier.
True.
Yeah, even and
it's a vibrator, really, but
his odd obsession. And it's beautiful, man. And I want you, and I want to be able to say that because there is a level of envy that I do hold, but it's envious in the manner where it doesn't drive me to become jealous, right? Or pessimistic or doubtful. It encourages me, like when I see other people who dance really good, there is a level of envy, but it doesn't drive me to hate on them or to wish bad on them. It drives me to get in the fucking lab, right? To go practice. Like it's like, damn, I want to be good like them. Like, you know what I mean? But not only good like them, but be better than that. Like, you know what I mean? Because dance is a competitive sport, but love isn't. Love is not a competitive fucking sport. And it's just really cool, bro. And I wanted to make sure like I said that, and so that your girl can hear it, bro. It's whatever she's brought into your life on whatever little gradient scale that you got there, boss man. I just hope that it gets brighter, bro.
Thank you. And I will
oh, go ahead, Demo.
No, I was just gonna touch on it really quick because I want to open up, because I feel like too many times, especially, I don't know how much of this is attributed to like movies that we watch or whatever, where it's like, then they lived happily ever after and it was cool. But as amazing a relationship as we do have, and like I do bring that to your attention, and I hope it's pretty transparent, like there's still a lot of difficulties in it. And like I think I forgot if it was Corpse or Safe who said this, but like love is not enough. And my mom has said this too. And I am very aware of that. And it's a lot of like love and a lot of like understanding that goes between us, and a lot of so many different facets that I'm just so lucky that I stumbled upon in this person that I don't know if it would work, without all of them kind of squished into this one person. It was just super lucky,
Yeah, and then so today I was on Opus looking for clips, and I had chosen the marriage YouTube, or the marriage pod that we did, and I stumbled across a clip where I was just talking about how amazing your guys' relationship was, and you had mentioned that although there was a point of difficulty within your relationship where you didn't know if you were going to walk away or not, and you're happy that you didn't walk away. And I said, that's the maturity level of where you two are, and you guys stood in front of each other as adults and decided that it was going to work and did everything in your power to make it work. And now you stand where you stand, and that like Corpse says, I agree with him. I'm not envious in any way, and it's just beautiful to see that two young people have the maturity to love each other at the capacity that you guys are at. And I think it's absolutely amazing. And I know we're we closed in on the 2-hour mark, so just kind of to wean off of the interview here, I know that your girlfriend has agreed to be on the podcast.
That's a boy. Yeah.
She has agreed to be on the podcast. So I know there's one stipulation that she can't be on camera. She said she didn't want to be on camera, which I think maybe Corpse and I may have to chat with her and persuade her.
I don't think she'll do it, but we try.
Yeah, I mean, I think people would want. I think a lot of what we do in this podcast, and the reason that we have the video and it's live, is because people can see our reactions when shit happens and when we talk about certain things. So I think that is of some importance. But if she really doesn't want to be on camera, but I think as this series is concluded, we saved the best for last, with Damo being the last interview of the 3.
Stop.
As the series concludes, I just want to be the first to say that I appreciate this. I appreciate our podcast. I appreciate the fact that we have come to an agreement to all get to know each other a little bit more, to agree to open up a little bit more than maybe we would be open to doing on our normal podcast or live streams. So that's absolutely amazing as well. I can't wait to see what comes of this series, because if I know Zero at all, I think he has some type of idea of how to make this series something. And if he didn't, then maybe I just gave him the idea.
Hopefully. We'll see.
But yeah, I mean, I can't wait to see where we go forward from this. I mean, 21 episodes is absolutely fucking incredible.
Crazy. Wild as shit. Yeah. It's crazy. But sorry, really quick. I want to say thank you to both of you for entertaining the ideas, and Corpse obviously for the questions. I wanted to see, was there anything that like we didn't touch on that you kind of want to delve deeper in? I'm okay. Like,
yeah, if you didn't get asked a question tonight that you wanted to get asked, what was the question and how would you answer it?
Me?
Yeah, you
Oh.
motherfucker. The fucking interview is about you.
I don't know if there's a question that like I wanted to touch on. I guess we went through my content. I'm trying to think of like what matters enough
Talked about
for me.
technology, talked about your
Technology,
girlfriend, talked about your
girlfriend,
ex, talked about the
ex.
panic attack,
Oh, I
talked
mean,
about
there's
New
a list.
Mexico.
There's a list still that I got here, bud. So
Bro,
part two
Go for
Part
it. Go
two
for it.
still definitely is going to go strong.
I think maybe we do 20 more. I think we do 19 more episodes and then redo
On 42?
part series. I
Yeah.
think we redo. What did we start on? 19, 20, 21. I think on 38, 39, and 40, we do a part 2.
Okay.
But we go the opposite way this time. Demo Corpse save.
I'm down for that.
I'm done. Yeah. All right.
Or here's some quick rapid fire questions.
Boom. Go for it.
Vegeta or Goku?
Oof. Oh, Goku, just because it's nostalgic.
Okay, Star Wars or Harry Potter?
Harry Potter. Oof. Sorry. Yeah.
That's a crazy answer. He likes
Yeah.
both.
I love
good answer.
both. Yeah, but
I like
Harry
both.
Potter's goated.
A favorite Marvel character?
Has to be Iron Man. Yeah, has to be.
Favorite Marvel villain?
Ooh. Stereotypically, actually, it's Loki. Loki. He's so dynamic. It's such a good character.
Low key who?
Loki.
Oh,
Oh, boo.
And if you were going to take your girlfriend on a first date
Yeah.
over again,
Yeah.
where would you go?
I think our first date was really good. It was a little awkward. I always say this, that it was a little awkward. We went to the movies. Super stereotypical. Yeah. Shut the fuck up. It was super stereotypical. We went to the
worst first
we went
date.
to the movies. We saw Bohemian Rhapsody, and this is where it's different,
Oh,
though.
great fucking
Great
movie, though.
movie.
Wait, that
Great
great
movie.
fucking
It's a
film.
good
Okay. I'll give you that one. That's a great fucking movie to go see.
I thought it was really good. She actually didn't care for that much. Great movie.
Oh my god, wait. Hey, I'll give you this for the movies, this for fucking the movie that you went to go see, and this to your girlfriend for thinking that was not a great movie.
she didn't say, yeah, she just didn't care for it too much. If I remember correctly, I might have butchered that. This is where it was different though, because like, and this is where it could have gotten like wrong because we saw the movie. No, we saw the movie, and then I was like, well, we didn't really like talk or anything, so like let's go to Ralph's or something. It was the only thing that was open. It was the only thing that was open. So
okay, I can dig it. Go get snacks. I can.
So we go to Ralph's and it's still a little awkward, and I'm doing some like weird cringy like arm move. It was just bad. It was bad. It was bad.
Wait, you put your arm around her at Ralph like this?
No. There was like a point where like I had kind of made a joke. She had kind of laughed. I like kind of brought her close, and it was like at the time it was like smooth motherfucker, but
Oh, risen her up,
a
huh?
little later she was like, I don't know why the fuck you did that. That was kind of weird. I was like, oh damn. But
Hey, bro.
yeah, but after Ralph's, I don't know why we were waiting. I don't know if she was like kind of just waiting to get the Uber, but we started chatting and
Hit an Uber. You didn't take her home?
I didn't take her there. I didn't pick her up or anything. We had literally never met till then.
Oh, Tinder. I forgot.
Yeah. So we like got there, and I wanted her to also feel like safe. I didn't want her to be like, "Let me just fucking take you home." Like, bro, you don't know me. I get it.
Nobody can feel unsafe around you, Demo.
Uh,
You are literally the safest person to be around.
I mean, yeah, but you don't know that. Like, coming to know me just off the like to assume that is like dangerous. You know what I mean?
Ain't no one safe around that dick.
So we sat and we chilled, and she didn't order her Uber like right away. So we were just chatting, and that's when we delved really deep into like what we like, how we like played off of each other, and that's where like if that didn't happen, I don't know if she would have found me interesting enough to have a second date. So it was pretty
Did you
wild.
kiss her? Did you kiss her?
Yes, on the first, yeah.
My man.
That's
Sealed
my boy right there.
the
It was really-
deal.
It was really good. Yeah, it was really.
Was it just like a little like, or was it like a kiss? Wait, who went for the
It
kiss
was
first?
like
You
more
or-
like a. It was both. We both went in.
She made the move. It's all right.
Yeah,
bro.
that's what I was
No.
thinking.
She did it.
Yeah. She made the fucking.
It's all right.
Yeah. But yeah, that's how it went. It was really good. Really good.
I love that. I love.
Wait.
Don't ever fucking go. Listen, if anybody in this fucking internet world is listening to me right now, do not ever take a girl to the movies for your first fucking date. That is the fucking most
Listen,
dumb
Cisco.
shit you could ever fucking do. okay?
Listen.
I forgive 20-year-old fucking Damo for doing that shit. But god damn, if anybody else is listening, do not take your girl to the fucking movies for the first date. That is so stupid. Take her to like fucking the Ceramic Cafe or something where you guys can fucking paint little worms. Like go do something where you're in front of each other talking and shit.
Listen, chat. Everybody who just listened to that message, I took my girl to the movies, and one of us is in a relationship. So I don't know if that
I was
advice
gonna
is
say that.
sound,
I
bro.
was gonna say that.
I don't know what that is.
Okay, hold on. Hold the fuck on. Y'all want to know one of the dopest things I ever did for a girl? Dopest things I ever did for a girl. Bro, I took this girl. Hold on, let me take a drink real quick. Let me show you the type of riz that I got.
Rizzing.
I took a girl on a fucking treasure hunt.
That's cool.
Boy.
And I sent her ass all around San Diego. I sent her to one place. She picked up balloons and said, "Oh, go pick me up from work." I wasn't at work. I worked at a restaurant at the time. She grabbed a cake. It said, "Meet me here," and then she went there, and then she finally met me at Sunset Cliffs, and boom, there I was. I was like, "What's up, girl? You want to be my girl, bro?" That was the rizzy. Oh,
After you sent her.
and then after that,
Dude, I was about to say, you made her your delivery boy. What are you talking about?
hell yeah, I sent her.
That's Pippin.
She was my girlfriend. She became my girlfriend.
True.
How did it work out?
That shit was badass. Yeah, fuck that shit. That shit, she turned out crazy. Yeah, that's how it turned out.
Like, you had to be crazy if she going on a motherfucking
Yeah, what the
treasure hunt
fuck?
for the first date.
First-
I'd be like,
Bro, you're
boy,
telling me right now. You're telling me right now. If I sent a girl that I had interest in on a low key treasure hunt, that shit wouldn't be fire.
Bro, first stop, my girlfriend would be like, "What the fuck, dog? Why you got me going everywhere? What the fuck is
They're
this?"
lucky to go to In-N-Out with me, bro. They're lucky. Sorry, ladies. I'm
That's the
not
difference
that
between me and you. That's a Hey, we're all catches though. But look, you want to know what the fuck I'm about to do once I get off this podcast? I'm gonna play video games for an hour, lay down and watch another podcast on my TV and go to sleep because I gotta work tomorrow.
Me too.
The
Except go to
movies
sleep.
are better than a.
Cause that smart IQ, 1,000 IQ play, you don't have anything in fucking common yet. You watch a movie, you've had an experience together, you can talk about the fucking movie. If nothing else, if you can't vibe with anything else, you're like, Fuck, at least the movie
I
was
need
good.
to know that I have something in common with you to go on a fucking date with me.
Well, the thing is, too,
Maybe.
the only thing I like about the movies is if I can sit in a room with you for 2.5 to 3 hours, not say anything. You're focused. I'm focused. You know, we laugh. I kind of hear what you laugh at. You hear what I laugh at. I can kind of understand your humor. I can understand, but I'm
Look,
not.
I can see if it's like the Harry Potter joint that just happened last week at fucking
That was wild.
at downtown with the symphony. You take somebody out to that, or like a fucking movies at the beach or movies at the park type of thing. But the movie theater, bruh, nah, I'm good.
Yeah,
I'm not doing that shit.
I'm too old for that.
Yeah,
Well,
I'm not doing that shit. I'd rather go into the ceramic cafe and do some artistic shit. Or I went on a date. I went on a first date. I went axe throwing. That's a badass
Cool,
first
that's
date.
cool. That's cool. That's cool. At
That's
least
pretty
I
cool.
went to
she
a
is a murderer.
museum. A museum,
Museum dates are top
that was
tier.
a cool. That was a cool.
Museum top.
bruh.
Well,
dates are
You
top
got
tier.
to come on. Hey, show your taste. Show your taste.
Do you have any more
Do it.
rapid fire questions? I like
Not
the
really.
Goku ones. Those are cool.
Yeah, I do. Snickers or Kit Kat?
Snickers,
Peanut M&Ms or crispy?
peanut,
Butterfinger or Reese's Pieces?
Reese's Pieces. Come
You're
on now.
disgusting.
Y'all really thought you were gonna trip me up? Y'all really thought you were gonna catch me slipping? Get that nasty shit out of my face.
Crunch or Heath?
Ooh,
Crunch.
Okay.
Heath is
I fuck-
Heath is good though. Heath is good, but Crunch, classy.
Razer or Logitech?
Logitech. Oof, that's a hard one though. But nah, Logitech actually. Yeah, all the way probably.
Favorite microphone?
Sure. This one. This is. a really
I
good
think
one.
I might buy that microphone.
Bro, it's so good. It's so good. That and
actually.
probably
Do you have a swivel arm that sits right in front of you? No, you have a blue arm, right?
no. The blue arm is actually right here.
This is the same blue arm
It's
that
the
I have.
it's the same one. Yeah.
Audio Technica, you can never go wrong.
Audio Technica is a beautiful
Mm.
brand.
I'd rather have Shure than AT.
Audio Technica is good. I mean, I really like their headphones. I mean, they have some really really good microphones. I feel like their microphones you have to buy either the really expensive ones to have really good audio, or I don't know. I don't know how much.
Pomade.
Oof, probably pomade, but I don't use pomade or gel anymore. I use like hairspray, which sounds kind of whack, but it just holds the curls better. Cause then if I run my fingers through them, it fucks up everything.
Mm-hmm.
So
So you just let your hair dry and then hairspray it.
yeah, like wet my hair in the morning and I'll spray it and then it'll curl.
Ooh, okay, here's a good question:
Hmm.
carne asada fries or carne asada chips?
Fries. That's the right answer. Cause then they get soggy otherwise.
Flour or corn tortillas?
Flour.
Nike or Adidas?
Nike probably. Funny enough.
High top ones or mid?
High top, but before I was listen, I wasn't delved into like the sneaker world. I didn't know it was wrong, but I like
Wait,
you know
hold
what? I like
Hold on.
mids.
Hold on. What is this comment that I see in your chat?
What is the comment? What in my chat?
You made your girl run errands?
He made his girl run errands. It was when you were talking about that.
On the first date?
Yeah.
Did you buy groceries on your first date?
No, she's saying that you made your girl run errands with the fucking goose chase thing.
Bruh, that was
Bro, I can understand if you were a fucking
fuck what anybody
millionaire.
says.
If you were working
Give
at
a
a
fuck what anyone-
restaurant, my G, like, come on. I mean, listen.
hold on.
Hey,
Look,
he's
listen.
balling, bro.
I'm not an ugly motherfucker, right?
You're not. You're not. I'm not saying that at all. The fact that Ogro actually did it and agreed to be your girlfriend means that
Big
she was
ups.
into
Big
big
ups.
up. I gotta give you
Exactly.
your pimpin'.
So
I'm not-
don't clown on your boy, okay?
It's
I
a
ain't
It happened. And I was
I'll
like
hit the
16 or 17. I was 16.
I ain't hating the
think,
player.
17.
I ain't hating the player. I just think the game is funny as fuck. That shit
I-
that is buck ass wild,
I-
but it worked.
I feel like that's like you're in the relationship. You kind of got like a little cute date idea. That's cool. But before
Not for a first date.
that was kind of wild. That was kind of wild. Yeah. But it worked. But when when you hit the air ball, it's gonna be like, oh, what the fuck?
Look, all I'm gonna say is, if it didn't work, then y'all could have clowned me.
True.
Did you eat the cake with her, or did you let her keep it?
No, she kept it. It was like a little personal
You
joint.
didn't eat? Oh, okay. I thought it was like
Yeah,
a more
okay,
like
okay.
a.
No. It was just like a little personal joint. Yeah, it was her favorite cake.
Okay,
Alright,
now,
W.
Oh,
now
right,
you get a
what the
little
fuck do I
risky,
look
now
like?
you get a little risky, now you get a
W.
little risky.
Yeah.
W.
You better get it like a fucking.
Who do you think I am?
I don't know. I don't know anymore. After
You
that.
think I do things with no purpose? Do you think I do things with no purpose? I
know
pay
this
attention to everything. I attention to detail, mother. Why? Because I don't have a girl around right now? I don't give a fuck. That's why.
Listen, buddy. Listen, you're loved.
My
You don't need
dogs
no
can
girl-
provide
Oh
better
no.
cuddles than anybody.
That's fair. All right, guys. So let's do these sign
Just
offs.
playing up so lonely.
Let's do these sign offs. Demo for last. Yeah, I
Sounded
do
like I wanted to DoorDash cake for free.
my guy, dude. Check it out. You guys,
That's
it's been
good one.
another
No shame,
another
though.
successful episode. Yeah, I want to say thank you again. Like always, I want to say thank you again to the viewers, everyone who's been tuning in, all that. The last podcast is doing better than I hoped it would because
Let's go.
people are watching me cry. Cisco's episode's doing good. Yeah, Demo, and I wish the most success on this one and in all your endeavors, brother. You're supported here. You're celebrated here. You guys know I always do my little sign off. I heard this actually last week, and I think it's funny. But there's an Arabic saying, right? And it goes, "May you find someone who speaks your language, so you don't have to spend a lifetime translating your soul." And I do truly think that you found that, and I think that we found that in each other.
That was fucking good.
But I think you've definitely found that, brother. And I wish you guys,
Mhm.
in y'all's relationship, the most success. And guys, as always, I wish us the most success. Viewers at home, have a good day, week, month, year in life. Until next week. Yeah.
Thank you guys so fucking much for tuning in. I know that a lot of you guys tuned in for the 3-part series of getting to know the host of the Usual Tuesday, and I'm very appreciative for everybody that tuned in, for showing the clips love, showing, in the DMs, in just being here, the likes, the shares, the follows, the comments, the stars, the whatever else you guys give on everybody else's platforms. So thank you guys so much for allowing us to give each other our flowers while we're still around, but also giving us our flowers within being here. This was a great episode. I think that a lot of people got to see a little bit more of where Zero comes from and the way that he thinks about certain shit, which is absolutely amazing. Make sure you guys go follow his channel so you guys can go and follow his other channel if you guys are into the tech shit. I'm sure he'll be releasing a video on the iPhone 15 once he gets it.
Bro, I'm so excited.
Maybe he can get me to do a collab video since we have the same watch now, because he convinced me to fucking
That'd
do
be cool.
that. But yeah, I'm glad that we were able to give Zero his flowers. I'm glad that we were able to give Corpse his flowers. I'm glad that I was able to get his my flowers. I'm thankful that throughout this 3-week series that our words were really held with meaning in more ways than none. And I think that it's very important for us to continue to do so. We've made it to 21 episodes, which is absolutely amazing. So here's to 150 more. As always, thank you guys to Zero's community, Corpse's community, my community. You guys are the absolute best. As always, you guys stay healthy, stay happy. I love you guys. Keep smiling, and we'll see you guys on the next one.
What legends. Listen. Thank you to everybody's community, Corpse's community, Safe's community, for watching. I always say this for a second, a minute, an hour, or the whole thing. I appreciate your time. I like Corpse. I like your quote. That was so good. Something about like the success of the last podcast, though, made me think of another quote from one of my favorite artists. His name is John Bellion. It was like, I never focused on getting bigger, just getting better. That's why I get bigger after every record. And I thought that was really cool. I was like, God, but that's hopefully we just continuously get better. Because if
Who is that? Eric Bellinger?
John Bellion.
Oh, John. I was about to say Eric Bellinger said that.
No, but hopefully if we didn't do one of the episodes justice, we just focus on getting better. I think we did an insanely good job with each other. And thank you for entertaining the idea, even for something like this. I really appreciate it. I think it was really cool. Yeah. I hope everybody enjoyed.
And with that, I guess I'll text you guys. And until
Yeah,
next week.
it's Demo's week next week. So
I know. Fuck, I don't know. I don't know how to do.
he's got to follow. I mean, this was his idea, guys. So if you guys like this, like I said, make sure you guys go. What's your socials again, Demo? Where can they find you on Instagram? Where can they find you on Twitter or Threads if you're on Threads, and YouTube? Where can they find you?
I think Instagram's I'm most active. I think it's one macadamia nut. I think that's what it is.
Yes, one macadamia nut on Instagram.
Yeah, that's
And
what I'm
then,
gonna
of course,
be.
you guys know 0% on YouTube.
Yep. And it's the number one, and then macadamia nut, all one word.
So make sure you guys go give my boy a follow. So we'll see next week how he follows up with this amazing series. And guys, just understand and know that we do have more in the works. We will be having people tuning in and giving our slots on the show. We still have to talk about those types of things. We do have more clips and videos to bring to you guys, so just stay tuned. Thank you guys so much. We'll see you guys next week. We love you.
Love you guys, man.
Peace out.
All right, brothers. You guys stay safe. Yep.
I
Love
do.
you guys,
You
bro.
too.
I'll see you guys later.
Peace. Hi, bye. All right, buddies. Did I disable this? I have to pee so bad. It's not even funny. Oh no, my lights just turned off. Oh my god. Bro, I have to pee so bad. Uh-oh. Hold on. There we go. Sorry guys, I have to pee so bad. My lights just turned off. It's 10:30. I have to dip. Be safe. Thank you so much for watching. How many people do we got in here? I turned off the viewer because I don't want to be too distracted. 2 people. Listen, y'all are legends. I know one of them is my girlfriend. I love you. I'll probably talk to you right now because I'm going to call you. Be safe. Be safe. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. Alright, be safe. Bye.